Life is like a puzzle, really. And our photography careers is like a puzzle as well. The funny thing is that many people don't tell us that our life is like a puzzle. And we sit there and we have all these pieces that have been given to us, all this talent that's been given to us, and it's just sitting there in front of us in pieces. What I do is I try to help you put those puzzle pieces together, the puzzle pieces together that will build your business. And in order to before we even do that, there's the puzzle pieces that is your portfolio, the puzzle pieces that is the work that you need to make in order to attract clients, in order to make more work, in order to attract more clients so you can make more work. And this cycle is what we're trying to do. Sadly, too many photographers don't actually realize that they have this talent, they have these puzzle pieces, but they have to assemble them. You have to put the puzzle pieces together so you can see the picture clearly. And each one of the photographs that we make, is one of those pieces of your larger puzzle. And that picture that we're trying to tell is the value that we can bring as a creative to our potential clients. That's all we're trying to do. So each one of these photographs is a puzzle piece. Before you go into making a photo, you actually have to brainstorm what the idea will be, because you know that this photograph is an element of a larger picture. That picture is your portfolio. And this little picture that you're taking now is just a piece, a small little section of that picture. What I do every Thursday is I do deep dives on those puzzle pieces, deep dives on your photographs. And in fact, I make it a little bit easier. I tell you exactly what you need to shoot. What that does is it actually trains you on how to be an assignment photographer. Too many photographers just go and they shoot what they want, but you're never going to be in that situation when you're with a client having the option of just shooting whatever you want to shoot. You're going to actually have to shoot what your client's requesting. So the photo reviews that I do here on the Carty Method podcast on Thursdays are to set your stage and to make sure that you're making the right puzzle pieces in the right way so you can get work. Are you down with that? All right. I hope you are down with that. Welcome.
This is the Carty Method podcast.
All right, babies. Let's get into this week's photo reviews. This is your favorite show and your favorite day of the week. This is the week that I look deeply at your photographs, and I gave an amazing assignment this week. This week's assignment was this. It was super simple, but it was really hard. This week's assignment: make a hero advertising photo within your niche. This week, I was teaching you how to shoot advertising, which means featuring a product as the hero. If you shoot products, by the way, the product is always the hero in your work. I wanted you to gear this as if it was an ad, and I wanted you to use intelligent imitation to see what work is out there on the product that you choose. So if you choose AirPods, that's what you wanted to shoot. You want to shoot your AirPods. Well, then you need to know what AirPods ads look like. So you actually look at AirPods advertising, and then you make photographs that are kind of related to like something that Apple would do. That's how you use intelligent imitation to create a portfolio that is actually industry standard. And that's what I teach here at the Carty Method. All right. So if you choose a product, or if there's no advertising or social media attached to the product that you chose, why are you attaching yourself to it? The only reason that you would do this is if you're been hired by a new company and they're hiring you to shoot their product that no one has seen yet. Well, that's an acceptable reason. And if that's the case, I'd ask you to find a similar product within the same niche, within the same area, within the same range of products, and imitate what they're doing, only better. So it was a vertical assignment. Think bus shelter, movie poster, magazine page, magazine cover. I always ask you to submit 4,000 pixels wide by 100 dpi. And I always ask you to not submit mobile, because mobile has a tendency to really compress your images and make them smaller. It's not going to be the right size and blah, blah, blah. Care about this. Submit it from your desktop. All right. And of course, the winners get publication in Behind the Picture magazine, which is our new Substack, which we put out a couple times a week. The Behind the Picture episode, where we're talking about the images that were submitted today, the best of the week, those get featured in Behind the Picture magazine. And this is brand new. We are just starting, but you can see all of our assignments that I deliver to you get featured here with a little bit of a write-up and a little bit from the photographer as far as why, which is great because this is the beginning of the showcase where this gets sent out to hundreds of people that I have on my list. And it just showcases you and the hard work and the great progress that you're doing. So make sure, and again, this is all people who watch my show and do these assignments. And it's full on articles on them. And then that week, that was the best in show. That was shot by Garan Rath. Welcome. I'm glad you're hanging out with us, Jolie. Thanks for hanging out. So this is Behind the Picture magazine. We just started this. I have three amazing people running this for me, primarily run by two with a couple of overseers, myself included. And you can see this just makes this whole process amazing. So imagine you submit and you get to be not only actually accolades here, but I actually send your work out to a growing network of people who are following what I'm doing here on this channel. And also you get featured on Behind the Picture with Carty, the Instagram. Behind the Picture with Carty, this Instagram has been going now for a couple of years, and you know, traction is hard, but the work is really high end. So if you're interested in supporting this channel and you know you want to do it in a free way, you can totally do that just by subscribing to BTP with Carty, just to watch the photographers progress. Super easy. BTP with Carty. It's right here on the top, which stands for Behind the Picture with Carty. So you are watching Behind the Picture. This is a specific show that I do within this Carty method system. I'm still wondering whether I should change the name of this show just to the Carty method, but we got some big changes. First of all, for the people who are on my submission list, people who have unlocked the ability to submit their photos to me, let me tell you a little story. I used to do photo submissions for free. I used to do them on Twitch for free. People submitted photos to Discord. I would look at anyone who submitted them. I never really would give assignments because people wouldn't do them. But I really felt like I had the wrong audience back then. And I would spend hours, 5 hours, 6 hours looking at 5 photos each from each person, 5 photos each. At one point, I would just let people send in as many photos as they want, and I would look at them all and review them live for free. I started that was 3 years ago. Then we graduated to doing that only for people who were subscribed to my Twitch channel, who were paying $5 a month. You know, some people fussed, but the work got really good. And then I moved this whole show over to YouTube, and I started with members. At first, I started doing photo reviews here for $5 a month for free. Did that here for free for a year, you know, to 6-7 people. You know what I mean? Who are benefiting from it. And then it started to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I had to say less and less and less photos for review. Like I could look at less because too many people were submitting. And I was charging $5 for it. then I raised my prices. I doubled my price from $5 to $10 in order to take the amount of people who were submitting, which was now getting into 40 and 50 photos every week. It's too many for me to look at. So I made the price $10, and that definitely came down. We're at a place again where the photo review price has been $10 now for almost a year. And like almost a year, it's been $10. And I want you to just do the math. I have a cap on how many people I allow into this system. That cap is around 75 people. I have people in my Pro Accelerator who, because they're paying me lots of money per month, they get photo reviews for free. So as part of their bundle. So you can imagine I have them to look at their work as well. But for the people who are paying $10, sadly, like now there's too many photos. There's too many photos and I'm giving away too much value. I care too much. I don't mail in a single review. As you can see, I care about every single one of you and I want to see your success. I want to see you flourish. Like that's the only reason that I do this. So for that reason, it's time to narrow the herd again. This time we're doing it a little bit more radically, where if you imagine I'm giving 12 hours a month, that's 3 hours per show, and I'm doing that 4 times a month. That's 12 hours. So I'm giving 12 hours of my time away, and what I'm getting back is this, say, $10 times 75. So that's $750 versus 12 hours of my time. That's feeling incredibly, it's helping you amazingly. It's helping me because, I'm trying to grow this, but it's also getting at the point where we're at that point where I have too many submissions. So we are doing it again. $10 a month for you and for what I've been doing for you here is a gift. So it is going from $10 a month to somewhere around $30 per month for my photo reviews. So you can do the math. You can divide 30 in 2, which is 15, and divide that in 2 again, which is $7.50. And that's how much you'd be paying me to have a look at your photos. Seems like a pretty good deal to me. The value that it gets to you, the value that you get is a future career and knowing how to polish those puzzle pieces so they actually make a clear picture, so you're actually getting work. Believe me, at $30, it's still a gift. It's going to be $50. That's like the next increase is $50 per month for me to review your photos. So that's the vibe. That's the update. That's in the update. I hope you guys are okay with prices. And if you're not, that's okay. I mean, for me, if you're not ready to invest $30 into having a feedback loop when you've had no professional education, haven't gone to photography school, don't have a photography coach, mentor, or don't have somebody that you're assisting, you know what I mean? Like, listen, I can only help. I want to help everybody. This is why I make free content here on YouTube. That's so I can help everybody at no cost to you, just your time. But for the things that are demanding a lot of my time, like looking at your photos, which I'm about to do, that's going to cost a little bit more money. I hope you understand. I'm going to be sending out an email to everybody. People who are in my Pro Accelerator, that's going to stay the same for you because it's part of your bundle. Your photo reviews, you're paying me monthly. It's going to stay the same until the end of this cycle, where we will reflect and review and figure out how we're going to bundle it. Cool? So, guys, I hope that is a little housekeeping. Got to do that every once in a while. By the way, if you like my smiling face, please subscribe. If you like what I'm doing here and you want to support what I'm doing here, the quickest way that you can do that is just by hitting the subscribe button. It costs you nothing. And what it does for me is it makes it so I inch closer to 20,000 subscribers. And me hitting 20,000 subscribers is a huge milestone because, number one, I'm only 550 odd away from 20,000. But what that does is it actually makes it so my value grows. It makes it so it's easier for me to get speaking engagements. It's easier for me to speak at universities and speak for companies and brands. So as soon as that number hits 20,000, then soon it'll be 50,000. And again, you should check right now to see if you're subscribed already. If you're not, please consider subscribing. It is free and it helps me more than you can possibly know. So back to the goods. This week's assignment: make a hero advertising photo within your niche. I have no idea how many people submitted, but I'm very excited to look at. I am looking at the first submitted to the last submitted. So, yeah. And by the way, Mike Howell or Steinmetz, please tell me who the last submission is so I'm not looking at anybody extra. All right. Mike Morrison is our first submitter. Mike says, I saw this old Cadillac. It was a resto mod as the hero and the restaurant as the main advertisement. A local clothing brand on the blue tent says, never give up and stay on the grind, which resonated with me. This is Mike Morrison with his advertising hero picture. Mike Morrison, thanks for submitting. Mike, it's like technically clean, but it to me, it doesn't apply as an advertising image because this is not, excuse me, although you're definitely, like, you slowed down, you were very deliberate, you have clean lines, you have clean exposure, but like this isn't an advertising image because advertising images don't have these people in the background. They don't have these people in the background. And you pointing out that it says never give up and stay on the grind, that's just one of the things that you're pointing out to make this seem like it fits as an advertising image. So what I said was use intelligent imitation, find a product that you have to read the brief, Mike, because this isn't the brief. If I do a search for Quaker State, what does this say here? Quaker State and Quaker Steak and Lube. Okay. Quaker Steak and Lube. And let's just see let's just see what their imagery looks like advertising, right? Like, let's look at advertising images, or at least images. Like, none of these really work because, like, this is the one that works the closest is this here, this image. But again, I understand that you're a car photographer. Why would you not shoot motor oil? Why would you not shoot a car tire brand? Why would you not shoot Armor All, a product used to clean a car? Why would you not shoot a rim cleaner, a product used to clean a rim? Like, walking around and seeing, like, oh, there's a cool thing that's happening. Oh, let me just run over there and shoot my advertising hero picture. Like, this is not a made photo. This is a taken photo. And the reason I'm going to prove that is, number one, you can't move these cars. Number two, you can't tell those people to all get out of your shot. And I don't think Quaker Steak and Lube is a brand that's prepared to hire you today for advertising. Armor All, yes. Like motor oil, yes. So, Freddie, thank you. It's really irrelevant, but I appreciate you. So, I think this is a miss, Mike. And I mean, I appreciate you submitting, but again, you're trying to lie. You're trying to say, I've created this idea to sell this product. And really, you saw something that happened. You pointed your camera, you took a picture of it in a very professional, but still, it's just taking a picture slower and trying to fit this into the cup that I asked you to fill. So this is a miss. And I don't like starting off with misses, but this is not... I would not call this an advertising image, Mike, and nor would I call it a hero image. I'm sorry. All right. Let's see who is next. Steinmetz. Michael Steinmetz. Okay, so Mike says, shot with the R8, 50 millimeter STM 1.8, shot at 100th of a second, f14, ISO 100. Okay, so this is Mike's advertising hero image. Mike is it's like he's an industrial photographer is the best way that I describe it. He shoots industrial things. Mike, thanks for submitting. Mike, this is close, but it's so niched, and I want you to think about what you won with last week. I want you to think about the photos that you've won photo of the week with. It's like a power tool. Like it's a single contained thing that you can move around and put it wherever you like. When you're now in places like this where you're shooting like fittings, unless those fittings are like off of the machine that they fit to, it becomes really hard to shoot them as a hero thing. This is a situation where there's clippers, there's pliers, there's tool belts, there's workman shirts, there's so many different like products that you can build an idea around that would be better applied than this fitting. Like, I know what you're trying to do, but the odd person who's just randomly tuning in right now and looking at this piece of like pipe fitting aren't gonna get it. So this is so niche. It's like, I understand what you're doing, but again, it's like they're rusty. There's rust all through here. And yes, this part is clean, but the part that it's attached to is not. So yes, it's like this thing in use, but it's like the tag is cut. I'm not seeing the second one, the angle at which you hit it. Like, there's so many different variables here that just make this really difficult. This is something where I wouldn't have even shot that, not even close. I would think, what is a small tool that these pipe fitters use every day? Like, what do they use that they got to carry with them? Shoot one of those guys with one of those products, and now you're onto something. So I hope that brings you some value, Mike. I think that's also close, but a bit of a miss, Mike. I don't think that this is going to make it to your portfolio. I don't think it'll be in there. Once we go, like Mike's in my Pro Accelerator, once we go through, like, once we look at all the work that you've done within this niche, it's like we're going to see whether that picture is going to be part of that puzzle. You know what I mean? I want you to be more clear. The word of the day for you is clarity. I want you to have more of a clear conveyance as to, like, this is what this photo is. This is what it's for. This is who it's for. This is how it'll help you. Like you did with that grinding and the sparks and like the hammer and the spaghetti and like that, Mike, not this. I hope that's helping you. This is Mike Steinmetz. Thanks, Mike. All right. This is Doyle Daniels. So he was getting off work. So this is going for a lifestyle portrait showing his hoodie. Not sure if I should have left him vaping because it wasn't the focus. Need to nail exposure a bit more. Shot with the Z8, 50 millimeter 1.2 at 2.2, ISO 1000 at 1/80th of a second. This is Doyle Daniels, everybody. Doyle, thanks for submitting. Doyle, I definitely see what you're trying to do here. I definitely see what you're trying to do, but if you're shooting a hoodie, you can't have somebody sitting down, crouched down with their knees up. They have to be standing, presenting the hoodie, and that's all they're doing. Like, he's shot at night. He's got dark hair against a dark background. Yes, you did like a little bit of rim light here to give us like a little bit of separation. But the smoke, I'm like, okay, you're shooting, it's for the vape. But then the boots are ugly. Like, I hate to be so dry, but the boots are ugly. It looks like he's working, which he is. Next, there's all of this stuff on the low that's distracting. Like, the only thing that's interested in this picture is what's happening up here. So have him stand up and cut out all the bullshit that's on the lower half of the frame. So, and then just focus on the hoodie. Have no smoke. Just have him standing there. Have him have his hands in the hoodie pocket, his hands in his pants. His pants are dark, so that would have worked, but this does not work because I'm distracted by the dirty steel toes. Like, I can't get past the dirty steel toes and the vape. And again, although it's super tight in focus, it's not exposed in the way that it needs to be. You mentioned that in your description, but the exposure down here, the exposure in here, the exposure here is a bit off. This is a miss. Stricky, this is a miss, but again, Doyle, you have to be clear with the one idea you're trying to convey. You're conveying 6 ideas in this photo, and it's not even close to the representation or the example that I showed as a hero advertising image. And the image that I showed, although this is a vertical assignment, this is the image that I showed, which is a Coca-Cola image that's like an athletic portrait, an athletic editorial portrait that is so good. So again, this is the bar. This is how far you have to go when it comes to your own work. Like, remove all the bullshit. Just show me the hero. That's the whole point of the hero image, is remove unnecessary bullshit from your photo and leave the hero, and show it to me and explain it to me why, in a single image, why I should care, and attach that to a product. It's not easy, is it? All right. Okay. So that was Doyle. This is Jermaine Dean. Jermaine says, Coach ad. My focus is on the hat with the subliminal message of the shirt for the viewer to be thinking of products. Yo, the language Jedi bullshit that I'm hearing this week is getting frustrating, and I'm trying to not get frustrated, but so many of you are missing the mark. So many of you are missing the mark as far as A, what advertising is, B, what a hero image is. And instead, like, you're not expressing your lack of understanding. You're not like, I didn't really get this assignment. I hope this kind of gets it or conveys what I tried to do. It's like, no, this is this because I'm doing. It's like, no, no, like you're not selling to me. And Jermaine, this as an ad for Coach. Thank you, Jermaine, for submitting. Jermaine Dean. So Jermaine, there's a couple of technical things that I can see without even enlarging, like what's happening here on this shirt. Like, I don't know what's happening in here at all. The bleeding that's happening on the C, I'm not sure what you're doing in post, but there's something like that I can see at this size. When I'm looking at the skin is better, but you're also letting the highlights burn out here like really hard. Like, that's in that spot. That is literally 1 and a half stops over. Like that's plus 1.5 right there in the highlights. Her teeth are also gone, which the teeth here, this is also 1.5 stops over exposed. So you're doing something in the processing, you're doing something in exposure that is like this is an editorial portrait, but it is not an ad for Coach. Now I'm going to show you why. First off, I said use intelligent imitation to create, like, number one, to look to see what is happening with the product that you're trying to shoot. Yes or yes? I asked you to do that. So Coach crew neck, because that's what that is, right? That's a Coach crew neck sweater. So let's look at ads for Coach crew necks. Let's look to see how how Coach crew neck advertising looks. So let's look. So let's look at Coach crew neck. Notice how they cut the girl's head off because they're only focusing on this, right? Notice the poses. Notice how all the poses, and again, they cut that girl's head off. So you just see the coach. Here's like a lookbook kind of a shot to show you what that crew or which coach crews look like when they're shooting lookbooks. It seems that let's see someone who doesn't have their head cut off, like this whole run, right? So if you're seeing now, if you do this search and now see what coach advertising actually looks like, it becomes super easy to make it. And then if you look at Coach the brand and see like their higher end stuff and look at, say, their website, which again, I can't do this for everybody, but if you look at their website, you can see it's really polished. It's really high fashion. So the poses can't be that's not the voice. It's not the voice. And I'll say, like, the pose is no pose. So when you're shooting somebody who's not a model, just your friend, girlfriend, love, wife, like, just have her stand there. Don't have her do anything, because as soon as she does this, now it's cheesy. So you have to work on that, Jermaine, because use intelligent imitation. See what the brand is doing and imitate everything, including the sensibility. And I promise you're not going to see those like hokey poses. It's 2024. Like, the people who are in these streetwear ads seem like they don't give a fuck. So you have to also pose your subjects much like what you see in the marketplace, which you're not doing. It's close, but we missed on this one, Jermaine. Thanks for submitting. Wow. We haven't had a hit yet. I'm trying to see a hero advertising image. Just want to see one. Okay, this is Joshua Haney. Danner boots, Carnan, all 6, shot with the 85, f4, 1/800th of a second, ISO 200. This is Joshua Haney. Joshua, thanks for submitting. Joshua, thank you. Thank you for hitting an advertising hero image. Thank you. Because this is the first one. This is a hero picture. It has context. It is a girl sitting on a fence. It's a wood fence. It's the exact kind of a place that girl, or a girl like so, would wear such a boot. Now let's look at the boots. The boots are brand new. They just came out of the box. And if they didn't, they've been worn once. There's no crinkles, there's no creases, there's no scratches. They are as if it was a ad. Oh my God. It's as if it was an ad. Yes, there is a little bit of fluff on the laces, which tells me that they've been used a couple times. Obviously, what we do in this kind of a situation is you go and you buy fresh hiking laces in red and you relace these perfectly. So guys like me, art directors who are going to do this, they're not going to want to have to take out all of these hairs, especially against this fabric and this pattern. It's really difficult to take those out against this kind of a pattern, right? You can imagine that that's super hard. So what you can do, you can get a sweater shaver and you shave the laces to take all of that off, or you buy new laces. You spend 8 seconds and $5 and or whatever they cost, and you just buy new laces. Small things. The toe detail here is okay. That's it, I mean, okay, but I want you to know it's just on the border of being too claustrophobic. It's just on the border of being too claustrophobic. This is on the border of being too claustrophobic. Like really just on the edge, Joshua. I want you to watch this as a cover. So you see this is a cover. Now when you're seeing the masthead, now I'm seeing that you're centering this part, this boot, like almost too much in the center. So now I'm saying, okay, you actually have to lower the boot and pull it down. And rather than like giving us this height down here, which is saying she's off, she's sitting on something, there's like a distance, rather than doing that, I would actually, I would end my frame like right here. And then what I would want is more leg up here, because then the leg can go behind the picture and behind the masthead. It brings the boots down a little bit and it gives you room here for copy. It gives you a little bit more room for copy, gives you room here for copy, and it gives you just a little bit more room here for copy. And now when you're starting to see copy come in, you can see how that feels claustrophobic, that feels claustrophobic, and that feels claustrophobic. All right, that's it. That's Joshua Haney. By the way, that's the first 11 of the day. Joshua, congratulations. That is the first 11 of the day. That's Joshua Haney, everybody. If you want to have your photos reviewed, first of all, I've been told that I'm at capacity, meaning when you go to my site to sign up for reviews, you can't sign up because it's full. So what that means is, as I said earlier in the episode, if you're just tuning in, I'm increasing the prices. That's going to cause a little shakeup. So people are going to drop off, and that's going to open up some spaces. So smart money would be going in there and like around after the show time, like, you know, give me an hour or so, because I have to change some things on the back end. But as soon as you see the price change, sign up. Because or see if you can sign up. If you don't get, like, if you can't get in, try tomorrow. If you can't get it, like, keep trying, because I need to like mix it up and like trying to filter the most serious people to the top, you know, and this is a good way to do it. All right, guys, that was Joshua Haney, and that was our first 11, by the way. Joshua, congratulations. All right. Let's go to, oh no, that's not what I did, but it is what I did. Come now. Right. Okay. You gotta understand, I'm running a lot of things here, eh? Like doing this live, 2 cameras, camera control, smoke machine, like all of these buttons that I use to run this. You can see I have like here, this is all the buttons that I use to run this. You know, I can change cameras and like, throw up graphics and all that stuff. I do that all with this, and I had to program all this. I had to learn how to do all this. So whenever you've heard me say my stream control doesn't work, it's when this thing isn't connecting properly, which causes me great grief because, yeah, I have over 115 buttons, I think, here. So if I don't have the buttons, if the buttons aren't working, we got problems. All right, guys, that was Joshua Haney. This is Juan Herrera. Juan, local up-and-coming business called Bella Jewels. So the owner wanted to showcase the rings, earrings, necklace on a model. Shot with the EOS R 24-105, f11 1/25 of a second at ISO 100. This is Juan Herrera. Juan is in my accelerator program. Juan, thanks for submitting. Juan. Okay, let me take this in. Off the top of my head, Juan, I think your contrast is a little high, and I think that you're biased a little bit too much to this side of the frame. Like you're really leaning this way, like in a claustrophobic way, and there's lots of extra unnecessary space here. Unless your client is putting ad copy here and it was intended for you to offset, for me, there's no real reason to offset that way. Secondly, your contrast is high. Okay, I want you to watch your contrast. If you're moving your contrast slider at all, your contrast is probably too high. If in camera, when you go to your what's it called? Your profile settings in your camera, make sure that they're all like kind of on 0. My contrast for sure in camera, set that setting at 0, because what it's doing is it's like training you to see your stuff too contrasty. And if we look in here, this is hair, right? Back here, this is hair. So where is it? It's just black. It's a blob of black. And look up here. It's just a blob of, like, you can see hair here, but all of this hair's gone. That's because of contrast. So skin tone is good. Exposure is good. Focus is good. But because your contrast is bad, and you're telling me that you're shooting rings, right? You're shooting rings. That is the focus. That is why you've been hired. So when we look at the rings are out of focus. The rings aren't just a little bit out of focus. The rings are a lot out of focus. What? A lot. Meaning, if I'm paying you, this is what I'm paying you to shoot. And also, when I look at it at this level, you don't see enough back here. It looks like this is a black ring when it's gold. This ring here is a gold ring. But because of the way that you have your light here, and that's you actually standing there with like an on-camera something that's like pushing, because of that, what it's doing is it's creating a lot of contrast. So you need to bring in a white reflector so you have like just a nicer tone. But just the fact that all of these are out of focus, the fact that this one, which is the diamond thumb ring, is so out of focus. It's like, and the earring, like, how are you going to shoot like 10 products? It's like, I'm shooting earring, necklace, ring, like, but just throw everything at the wall. It's like, okay, if I'm going to shoot the earring, I'm shooting this. Okay. So if you want me to have her hand in it, okay. But now you're competing between 2 different products because now you're putting all of this person's products in this thing. I'm not seeing any of them. I'm only seeing this girl. And in fact, I thought the product that you were shooting was this thing that she's holding in front of her. So if this is a feature, it's not as important in this shot. If that's a feature, it's not important in the shot. If that's a feature, it's like, how many things are you going to throw on this girl? This is called overstyling. Overstyling. I'll say it again to be super clear, Juan. Overstyling. Come on. Like, put a hat on her, put sunglasses, throw a dress on. Like, how many different things are you going to give a cigarette in her mouth? Like, how many things do you want to give her? You know what I mean? One thing, bro. You're trying to, like, how many things are you going to sell? Like, do something with just rings and have the girl like this laughing. And she's got just rings on her fingers. That's one shot. Next shot, cut her right here, have her biting her lip like this. And you're showing just across, and it cuts, or just it cuts here. That's the second shot. Third shot, just her ear hole, like just that. Look how pretty that earring is. Just that. That's the next shot. Like trying to, and then the thumb ring. Then you have her smoking a cigarette, and she's like this, and then she's got this diamond ring on her finger, and you have a close up of just her mouth coming in, smoking the cigarette, and you see that diamond thing. Like, you got to be creative. So this is just me, Juan, telling you how I would shoot it. Doesn't it make more sense? And then again, use intelligent imitation, go look at anybody who's shooting jewelry, rings, blah, 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 and notice how often you see 35 pieces of jewelry on one model, all tried to be captured in one shot. You'll see, oh yeah, they don't really do that. So then why are you? Juan, for me, hero, no, this is a miss. This is a miss. And for all of those reasons and the framing, like this picture literally, Juan, should have been, let me just zoom it in properly, like some sort of a variation of that. Like there's one sort of a picture, as you can see, like, but like this hand, if you look at it like this hand looks like it belongs to her older brother. Look how big this hand is compared to this hand back here. You see how strange that looks proportion-wise? Because you're doing shoulder forward. I never do that. I shoot people square up. I rarely because it just, and then if you're shooting any kind of wide, anything less than 50, now you're really, really distorting that stuff. And I'm going to say again, look at how this hand looks like a claw. That's not sexy, and it's not selling the rings. So we got to fix that one. I hope this helps. Girls are modeling right down to their fingers, eh? Seriously, like right down to here. She's got a beautiful manicure, fake nails, blah, blah, blah. She can't be just, you know what I mean? All right, that's Juan Herrera. Guys, I'm feeling like the advertising thing is hard to hit. I'm feeling like the advertising thing is hard to hit. Are you feeling it? I'm noticing that seeing the world as a series of possible advertising moments for a certain product or a certain lifestyle, you have to learn how to editorialize the world. This is Samuel Sailing. This is Samuel's second submission. Very limited setup. Sony A7 IV 50mm 1.4, shot at f9, 1/400th of a second, ISO 500 with a golden reflector. This is Samuel Sailing. Samuel, thanks for submitting. All right, Samuel Sailing, thank you. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so off the top of my head, you're making two photos here. There's two photos. You are trying to be A, a tourist, and B, an advertising photographer, and you're trying to do it in the same picture. If I'm asking you for a hero shot of a product, okay, and now you're saying that this product, this is the product. So if that's the product, why am I seeing this? And in fact, what does this have to do with that product at all? Other than it's just a pretty picture. And then next, look how close you're putting her to the edge of the frame, meaning you're risking the magazine cutting her elbow off in order to have this structure in your photo. And this thing in your photo, which is, I don't know what that is. So what's the most important thing in this picture? And what was the request? The most important thing in this picture is the product. And oh my goodness, it says Pura on it. I didn't notice that because you didn't show me. Like, that's the name of the product. Imagine the name of the product. And her hands holding that product like that. Look at this. Now, look at how suddenly this becomes way more of a captivating photo. Because I don't give a shit what's happening in the background. It's not relevant. What's happening in her face and her emotion and what's happening with this water bottle and how it matches her backpack, although it is a little frayed back here. So you have to, again, like, pick a different backpack or fix this in post, because if I see this, your client is going to see this. And again, it's one of those things where you're trying to shoot a hero advertising image, but you're not using a brand new product. Thank God this one looks very new. So it's working. It's not like dented or dirty or whatever. So just look, this right here, this like cut right here at her waist. The way their hands are holding, the way that she's looking down. Now all you need to do is unscrew the top or have her drinking a little bit and bugging her eyes up a little bit. Like, oh, like now you have an advertising picture. What's inside that bottle? What is she about to drink? Oh my God. But instead, Samuel, you're like, hey, but look at what's happening over there. Look what's back there. Look at over there. Like, nobody cares about what's up over there, dude. I understand you're on vacation. I got it. You're seeing all kinds of pretty things. But what you need to do is think just only on color composition, just only on that green and her. Like, that's it. She could have been on the lawn. She could have been laying on her belly and holding the cup in front of her. Like, so you're just seeing her and those freckles and those eyes. You know what I mean? But again, with her hair, you spend a little bit of time and like you get her mom to come over and like run a brush through and like get rid of the flyaways, or you tie like side ponytails because the position that her ponytail is, it's in so much of the back of her head that you actually don't see her ponytail. So when you look at it like this, it actually looks like she has a boy's haircut. So, like, especially when you're looking at it at first glance, is that a boy? It's like, no, it's my girl. It's like, okay, well then you have to isolate that by putting ponytails on the side or having the hair down. So when we first look at it, you get that like right away. Like that, I think, is incredibly important. Like these details that I'm picking out for you. Like, I promise you, if this was missing from the photo, would you care? If this was missing from the photo, would you care? Like, look at this moment in her face. And then why is she competing with anything else in the world? You know what I mean? It's one thing. Take one photo. Don't take two. You're trying to take two photos in one. This is two subject matters that's now competing with each other. And then this just pisses me off. So that is my 2 cents for you, Samuel. I hope this brings you value. Samuel also in my Pro Accelerator on vacation doing work, and also likely watching with family. Garam, inspired by a brilliant young photographer, Aidan Murgatroyd, who photographed a personal project in Oregon earlier this year. For the ad, I thought the text would read, Jeep, claim your territory. Sony A7R Mark III, Sigma 70mm, ISO 100, f16, 0.4 seconds, 3 light setup, shot in the studio. This is Garam Rath with his hero advertising image. This is Garam Rath, everybody. Garam. Right off the bat. Yes. 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 Want me to say it again? Yes. Yes, Garin. Yes. Number one, look at this as a cover. Like, let's go. This is what I'm talking about. And I'm telling you, this is for you. It's not for me. It's not for me. I do honestly want you to succeed, but what I'm trying to bring you is clarity. And I have this clarity already. I'm trying to share with you. Do you see the difference? And this doesn't mean that Garin is a better photographer than you. In fact, it doesn't even mean that Garin's trying harder. It just means Garin has been using different inputs. His inputs are only what works. He only looks at photography that works. That's it. He doesn't look at any photography that doesn't work. And in fact, when he's making photos, it's like anything that doesn't belong in a photo, it isn't there. I'm going to say again, anything that doesn't belong in a photo, it isn't there. He's removed every single thing out of this photo except for these boots that happen to be made by the brand Jeep. He's created a beautiful environment. He's used smoke. He's used backlighting. He's hung them on not a clothesline, but a wire of some sort of thick industrial power wire. Like he thought of this idea, and look at the placement. Remember what I was talking about earlier with Joshua Haney's photo and how high up, how his toe was too high? Look at the placement here. Look at the spacing here. Look at the spacing here. Look at the spacing here. Look at how it works as a cover. Look at where he's left gaps for copy. Like, this is textbook copy. And enough room on the top that if he wanted to make this an 8x10, it would cut right, call it right here. Oops. Oh, that's the wrong button. There you go. It would cut like right here. That's like an 8x10. So you would still see the wire. You wouldn't really lose any of the concept when this goes to Instagram. So this is like Garin. This is 100% like this. He's in my Pro Accelerator as well, Garin. And again, he's all the way from South Africa and truly like really getting it. I like to say it seems like Garin is getting it, and it's not. You can see like I don't talk shit. I just tell you the truth. Like that's the thing that I think makes these photo reviews valuable is I'm not trying to make you like me. I just want you to know the truth. I just want you to know what someone else who isn't you, who's not your family, who's not your friends, who's not your buddy, someone who thinks, oh my God, dude, you're so sick. A professional who's been in the industry for 3.5 decades working, telling you this is what industry standard looks like. This is what your pictures look like. This is some things that you can do in order to bridge the gap to get your work up to industry standard so you can attract the attention, to actually have people put enough trust in you to have you, like, to pay you for photographs. That's the only goal, is to create examples, these puzzle pieces that are so good that they form a picture, and that picture builds trust. That picture is trust. And they see those examples and they can picture what it is that they would get if they were to hire you. So that's what we're trying to do here. We are really trying to get you to the next level with your mindset, with your skill set, with your tool set, and with your understanding, Isolate. Hey, Grandma. Grandpa, glad you guys are here. All right, Sebastian Kawaka is up next. Oh, by the way, if that wasn't clear, Garan, did I give you an 11? Did I do the smoke? Did I do all the accolades and all that stuff? I'm sure I did. All right, Sebastian Kawaka. Hello, beautiful people. Recently went to a VDub beach dubbin event in my city. Recently, I'm more focusing on video recording because I want to learn video editing. Could not resist to take a few shots from the event. Shot with the Sony A7 Mark IV Sigma 50 1.4. ISO 50 f2.8 at 1,000th of a second. Yes, ISO 50 2.8 1,000th of a second. This is Sebastian Kawaka. The idea is a hero advertising image. Sebastian, thanks for submitting. Sebastian, this is a vibe. This is a vibe. It's a busy set, but compositionally, let's look at it as a cover. Compositionally, like, I'm feeling it. Like, there's something here. But I gotta tell you, this is more editorial than it is advertising, because I don't really know what you're advertising. So here's me. If this was me in my situation, like, again, this is as a photo, as an editorial portrait, it's pretty spot on. Okay. But I'm going to tell you, it is a little dark. It's a little dark in here. Your exposure on him, this face here, is dark. This is under by, we're going to call this 1/2 of a stop. This is under by 1/2. If that punched up just a little bit more exposure on him, you could see it just feels just a little bit muddy. You know what I mean? And again, it's because it's backlit. You're aiming, he's in shadow under here, but everything else that's coming this direction is bright. So he has this little shadow patch that you can see that he's under to keep him out of the like in the shade. But your camera's reading all this light that's coming at you, so it's going to give you an exposure that's hotter. So you have to compensate by making sure that you're checking here only and trusting that everything that's happening around here you can fix in post. And also, exposure wise, here really starts to reveal itself when you look underneath the truck and see how much lack of detail that we have under there. You can see how this under here really starts to just get to black in here. So that and losing this edge of the tire because it's getting lost into shadow detail tells you that your exposure is too low. It tells you. It's telling you right there. You can't see the back of the tire. You can't see it back here too. So you're losing here. So that's telling you contrast, exposure. Those are the two things that you have to mess with in order to make sure that you're not losing, let me just hide this camera, that you're not losing detail under the tire. As far as the idea, I definitely see it. But again, to me, I see trucks back here. I see cars back here, the building. Like, imagine you erase that building. You have you go at a lower angle so you don't see these cars through the window. Like that's it's so tricky. And for me, the product is this truck. The VW is the product, but there's no branding, there's no logo, there's no front grille. You're not even seeing the shape of the VW because he's posted up and you're hitting the truck. If the truck is here and you're here shooting that way, and then he's here under this umbrella, like, you can't even get the whole truck in. So what I would do is, number one, is either rotate the truck so you're shooting the truck like this. The truck's on this angle, so you can see the front grille in that corner. And then you have him either like here, kind of in the front-ish, and then you shoot that way. So now we're getting the most important brand identity of the truck, which is the VW logo. Or you shoot it from the back or straight on to the front. The next idea is the truck is this, like here, and he's here, and you're shooting that way. That's the other option. where you see the brand and it's more about him. And also the next idea also is obviously you put him behind and you shoot him behind the truck. So these are, and all with the intention of getting rid of distractions. Essentially, you want this VW up against this sky without any distractions. So that's my 2 cents in a bag of chips for you, Sebastian. It was close, but again, this is an editorial portrait. It's not an ad as much as it's an editorial portrait. Look at how we have something up here that I really wish was like missing. The way that we're cutting this disco ball is making me crazy. The way that you're cutting the wheel there, the way that you're cutting these windows and the end of the truck and all, it just makes me crazy. It feels like it's too, and I know that you shot it vertical because naturally you would want to make this a horizontal picture to include blah, 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 but it's a vertical assignment. We're trying to put this on a magazine cover and you have to figure out a way to make this stuff work. This is what we pay you for. This is your craft, which is coming up with solutions to problems that you're coming up with when you're trying to show the car, show him, and also not have any distractions in the background. I hope that brings you value. That is Sebastian Kawaka, everybody. All right. All right. Let's get into Cynthia Lilly. This week is the Trade Winds Gated Condo Community. New Surma Beach, Florida. Shot with the Sony A7R Mark II, 35mm f4, 125, ISO 100. Cynthia Lilly is an architecture photographer. Architecture, interiors, lifestyle. This is what she does. She and Mike are in my accelerator together as like a team because they work together as a collective. This is Cynthia Lilly. Cynthia, look at you, girl. It looks like you did some corrections with the lines. It looks like you did. But I like this. This is a win for me. I'm going to give you an 11 right off the bat. Technically really well done. I want you to watch your lines. These lines are claustrophobically close right here and right here. Like really close. You know what I mean? What I would do is I would just pinch so that those white edges touch the edge of the frame and then forget about the blue. You know what I mean? Like I would actually go closer, punch in a little closer so I don't see that, because that would then make the feel like the building is bigger and you're shooting just a section of it. And then you wouldn't have to worry about the slight distance difference between here and here, where you start to see like it feels like the building gets a little rubbery. Like when I click right here, like the distance between here and the distance down here looks like it's on a little bit of a slant, right? So, and then when you're seeing me close, like this now starts, like this huge piece here starts to look really weird. So this is what this is how we have to break it down. And if you look at this other side, and if you look right up here, I guess above my picture, and how close it is, and then how it kind of tails in. So we see that because you're putting those frame border lines as reference so close. Because they're so close, it's hard to not see that. So my suggestion is go closer. Just literally step 6 feet closer. So now it's just like all of this down here is just white. This is a beautiful touch. I hope that that's real, although putting that in AI is actually, or putting that in as a composite or whatever would also be more than, I would even call it acceptable, because it just takes this over the limit without it being like too much. But this looks very legit. But yeah, just if you're doing any kind of line straightening or correcting, I would just kind of stay away from that, because it really, the first thing I saw when I looked at this building is it looks like it's folding out that way. You know what I mean? Just because if you're doing line corrections, you gotta be really, really tricky, because if you go too far, it now it optically doesn't work anymore. So be careful. And also at times makes it look like the building is falling forward. From somebody who shot 4x5 cameras, for somebody who, like, I had to learn Schleimflug and all of these rules when I was shooting 4x5 and shooting architecture to make the line straight and blah, blah. The reason that I know this is because I'm classically trained. This is like, I used to develop 4x5 sheet film in the darkroom, so don't get me started. Guys, thank you. This is Cynthia Lilly, and this is an 11, Cynthia. Congratulations. That is a win for me for the advertising hero picture. Congratulations, Cynthia. All right, who's next? Liza Haidar. Liza says Coco Chanel Noir. Shot with the Nikon D850 85, 1/60th of a second, f8, ISO 400. With aperture Amaran. This is Coco Chanel vibe. This is Liza's hero advertising. Liza Hyder. Let's go, girl. Thanks for submitting. Let's look at this work. Right off the bat, yes. Right off the bat, yes, is what I'm saying. Like, right off the bat, yes. Look at that product. Look at that product. Look at the care. There's not a fleck, a fluff, a smudge. It looks like a brand new bottle. Now, the girl's nails, sadly, this girl's nails are busted. And it's tricky when you're trying to do something that's so sophisticated, but you have somebody who has nail polish and fingers that look like this. Like, now it's like the first thing that I say when I do these kinds of a shoot, especially if I'm going to see a model's hands, because this is like, she's a good model, but I say, show me your hands. I say, show me your hands. And I go like this, like literally show me your hands. Go like this. Go like this. Show me your hands. And I look nails, like nail bed. And I'm like, okay, you can touch your face. You know what I mean? Or you can have your hands in the photo. And then I test them to see like how elegant they are, or how like just weird and awkward they are. You know, you kind of got to watch them, you know, but Liza, you were like, this is an 11 because your quality is so high. But for you, what's going to help you now is me helping you with these fine details and the level of like insanity that I look at every photo. You have to look at them, your own photos, with this same level of scrutiny. The first thing that I did was I looked at her thumb, because the way that she's holding this looks weird. Like, this looks a little weird and a little bit extended, like her hand is too long. And then this thumb looks weird, and those lines look a bit weird, and then the nail polish. So how can she hold this that in such a way that you don't see her thumb? You know what I mean? So that now becomes what you do. Like, could she hold it this way? Could she hold it like, you know what I mean? Could she hold it in one hand like this way, so her thumb isn't as like predominant? It's a small thing, Liza. For me, it's still a win. I want you to watch like the way that you're cutting this limb, like the way that it cuts there right here in like the elbow hole. It's like she leaves the frame and then comes back. That's a little weird for me. I would rather the elbow up and have that go up, the elbow go up into that corner, or have the elbow go back, like into the back of the frame. But again, the posing vibe and framing and all that stuff, it's so individual and objective. Like, we all have to work through that on our own. But your formatting, your concept, the execution, the level of professionalism, and all of that for me is just, this is an 11. Liza's in my accelerator as well. The focus, it's really hard to focus through lace, like the depth of field, the aperture choice, so you didn't lose focus on one thing but had it on another. Like, you did so many things right here for me, Liza. This is 100% a win. 100% a win. It's just as you get better. And again, I'm judging you only against you. If you're submitting photos or thinking about joining my photo submissions, I'm only judging you against you. And Liza has been a part of this for quite a few months now, like coming into like 5 months. Like she watched me for years before or at least a year before she started participating the way that she is now. And now her work is like, so Liza, this now for you is like, you're completely on track. You're hearing the music. You're getting great ideas. You're executing super perfect. Now I'm just asking you to be like, just be even more insane. Just notice even more details. That's all. So I hope that brought you value. That is Liza Hyder. One more look at Liza. Well played, Liza. All right, everybody. By the way, I'm Carty. If you haven't seen me before and my smiling face, I've been a photographer for literally 34 years. Can you believe that? Like, I'm going to sneeze.
Treat everybody like a superstar. Famous people less like a superstar. I treat famous people like real people. I started as a photographer, I would say professionally, when I was 20. My brother's a fine art painter, heavy influence on me, and I couldn't paint. So when I discovered the camera, it was really easy for me to express myself creatively. Everybody's in the business of glorifying celebrities, so capturing them, it's already glorifying them by photographing them. So if I can get them a little bit more understated, I feel like it brings up the real. In 1997, I shot Tom York from Radiohead, most important picture of my career. In 2001, I shot Pharrell Williams for Peace magazine. Again, very important picture. Colin Firth, a week before he won his Oscar, career moving pictures where that picture propels a whole new wave of clients, a whole new wave of people looking at my work. I think pivotal career-changing pictures are more important than favorite pictures, because they're all my favorite. The whole idea is make good stuff and share it and do it every day.
All right, welcome back. We are getting into our next viewer. This is Nina Gallegos. Nina says, hello, Carty and crew. The brand is Blazy Susan. The brand color is a soft pink, so I incorporated that into the color scheme. Grinders are the grinders are held above the paper on stilts. I used 2 continuous lights with 2 bounce cards on either side. ISO 200, shot at f10 at a 1/10 of a second. This, another accelerator member. They call her Nina Gallegos. Nina, let's go, Nina. Thanks for submitting. Nina with the Blazy Susan. Nina, the color palette's good. The color palette is good. The double lights, though, I'm still getting a little bit of shadows. You're seeing how we're getting this shadow here, but this shadow and then also that shadow, like whenever we're getting 2 shadows in the same picture, like you can see we have 1 shadow there, 1 shadow here, that starts a little bit of confusion. I definitely see what your main product is, but the color of the flower, the color is off. This is dark, like here. This is dark, like the color of that flower should be brighter. And I think it's because of the exposure. You can see here, 1, 2, 3. This is under by, I would call this half a stop. Oops, my little arrow is there. I would call this half a stop. This is under by half. So exposure that you have here is good, but the exposure that you have down here, this is starting to look like this color is not looking like it matches this color. This looks dark. So because of that, it's like, that means you're not getting enough light down here. And it looks like you're not getting enough light, like sort of in this quadrant a little. This little flower cigarette, I feel like that should be a little longer, a little bit more substantial, and it would never be stored there. So there's no reason for that to be like attached to the grinder. I think that that should just be its own entity right here alongside. As far as your framing is very much on the button. Like color composition wise, it looks really good. I want you to work on, rather than using 2 lights in reflector, I want you to use 1 light, light that 1 light into the reflector, and use a reflector on the second side. So if this is your set, you have 1 light that is aiming that way. There is a reflector like this, which is kicking light that way. And then on this side, I would do just a flat reflector. That's flat, by the way. That's a flat reflector. I didn't do my line tool. So that's basically how I would light it. And that's going to prevent you from having double shadows. And also try top lighting. So if this is your table, and this is your scene with all your stuff, get a top-down setup so you can have your camera up here aiming straight down. So you have all your angles and everything really straight. And yeah, just do a top-down light. I would also like do my light source like this and have my light kicking down that way, so that now all of these shadows are on top of themselves. Right now you're lighting like this, where you have 1 light going that way and 1 light going that way, or you have a table here and you have a light here, but then you have a light right here. So you have 1 light going that way and 1 light going that way. That's why there's a shadow here and a shadow there. So no, yeah, you draw the lines. Like I can see the lines. It's like this. You're doing cross light. So yeah, just based on the shadows, you got two different things. And here, I can show you exactly. This is the tip. That's the line. Follow that tip to that line. That shows me exactly where that light is coming from. Then I'll do the same thing. This little bit is this bit. So I'll draw that to there. And then we'll draw the line like that. So it's showing that you're doing cross light based on what your shadows look like. So that's a no-no. We don't use cross light. And you're also sending it in the wrong direction. Like, why are you sending it in that way? You know what I mean? You're not shooting portraits, you're shooting product. You should be lighting top down. That's kind of the vibe. And I like the flat lay approach. But you're in my accelerator. Garant Rath is also in my accelerator. Garant does this incredibly well. Get some help from Garant. He's going to, he's a team leader and rotating through all the groups. He can definitely help you. I hope that brought you some value, Nina. That's Nina Gallegos, everybody. Welcome to this show. If you've never watched me before, I'm glad you're here. And by the way, leave a comment if you've never watched me before. Leave a comment if you feel like this is valuable. Is there anyone else doing this the way that I do this on YouTube? Anybody? I don't know. Please tell me. This is Stephen Bordeaux. Stephen Bordeaux. Canon R6, 50mm, 1.8. Shot at 250 of a second, 6.3, ISO 100. This is like a Nike Jordan basketball vibe. All right, I got it. Steve Boudreau. Let's open this big, Steve. Let's see. Steve, this is a vibe. Let's look at this as a cover. It's definitely a vibe. It just needs a little bit of polish. Let's have a look at this close, okay? So let's see the focus. Focus is okay. His eyes are too high. You see how his eye line, his nose is going down this way, but his eyes are going up that way. What that does is it creates too much underneath eye, and that's not sexy. It's not sexy to have somebody like looking like literally, so you see like the under parts of the eye, like looking so up that you see under there. It's never sexy. So be very wary of that. Also, you'll hear me say, have the nose track the eyes and the eyes track the nose. So if I'm here, I'm looking here. If I am here, I am looking here. If I'm here, I am looking exactly always where my nose is tracking. And because what that does is it always centers my eyeball in my eye hole. So I'm not doing this, or I'm not doing that, because my nose is tracking there, but my eyes are going there. You see how unsexy that is? That, or that. It's not sexy. So the nose is your marker. Wherever the nose is pointing, that's where the eyes have to be tracking. That's going to give your eyes centered in the model's face, and it's going to look like they're actually really looking at something. You know what I mean? The only time that you kind of play on that is if you're trying to bring like, I'm moving this way, but something's happened behind me, like that kind of vibe. But even still, it doesn't look sexy, which is why you always have the models like they kind of look that way-ish, which turns their face and makes it all nice and long, and then blah, blah, blah. Look, you know, it's still tricks. So something for you to think about, Steven, is eye line. Make sure his eye line isn't going too far. Next is the contrast, meaning dark pants or dark shorts, dark background. Dark pants, dark background, dark hair, dark background, with no separation. I have a little bit of reflector, which is low and small, so it's down here, but it's not kicking back anything enough to catch what's happening on his head or his arm. You only start seeing the reflector right here. Yes or yes. Like, look at this. You can see the reflector ends right here. Right here. In that little spot, you see the reflector coming in. Up here, little hint of it in that area. You can see it just a little bit here on his arm. But up here, nothing. No separation. So now this, I can't see where the back of his head is back here, where his hair ends, because this just fades into black. And I know it's like, yeah, man, he's coming out of the darkness and blah, blah. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. Until you have a product that's black that you're trying to shoot against this background. And if you don't know how to create separation by using a rim light, by using like a grid off camera to give, and a wide enough one that it's not just putting the light here, but it's actually putting the light from here all the way to like way down. Like you can do a grid that's open enough that it's giving you like enough spread that's giving you separation on all of that distance. So I like the fact that he's coming out of the darkness. I like that, because what that does is it removes all the bullshit that's happening in the gym, all the background stuff that you don't want to see. The product is tight like a tiger, Steve. The product is really, it's brand new shoe. It's super clean. The laces are done right. He's wearing Nike socks. Like, it's like the floor is clean. Like, there's so many elements here, Steve, that are like right on the bubble. Basketball's a little motion blur. You can see like there's a little bit of shake to the ball and a little bit of motion blur to his hands. So you kind of got to watch that, be like obsessive, and shoot at an f-stop that's going to give you this like really crispy. Also, in this situation, I like the fact that the ball has a little bit of wear to it, but in an ad they would never use a ball that has wear. It would be like a brand new ball. So it's like, and also Spalding makes the balls for the NBA, so then you turn the ball so you see a little bit of the Spalding logo, and like, you know, small things, but like for me this is an 11 now. I and again, I can tell like you're really learning, you really care about this, Steve. You're really trying to elevate this craft. How far that you've come in the time that you've been watching me is actually mental. So no, much like I just said to Liza, you're getting so good now that now I have to start looking at other things in your work. Now I have to start looking at other things, and I have to start tuning, like helping you with polish, helping you with like little things that like a pro would do. You know what I mean? Because now I'm taking you past like where you were in the beginning, you know? So I hope you're feeling it. That is Stephen Boudreau, everybody. Stephen Boudreau. Thank you. All right. I often get asked what my favorite photo shoot was. And I try to say, like, I don't have favorites. It's just like experiences. Like, I've had cool experiences, you know, and yeah, it's cool to like fly on a private plane to Detroit to meet and photograph Eminem and D12, and then only to find out when you get there that Eminem isn't there and it's just D12. And it's like, and it was before D12 had blown up, and like, it's crazy being put on a plane just to make a photograph, which has happened to me an insane amount of times in my life. Yeah, it's a gift. All right, this is my older brother. They call him Leslie. Carty says, for this week's assignment, I shot cars. There's a big show and shine. So he used these shots to promote his restoration shop, Opal Customs. My brother is not a photographer. He is a custom car painter and an artist, and he restores cars, incredibly rare cars. And he uses photography to help promote that. So let's have a look of what my brother is doing. Big brother Les, let's go. Thanks for submitting, Les. All right, so off the top, I definitely am feeling a little bit of lens aberration, but as far as the cropping, as far as the vibe, like you're starting to get it. You're definitely making this car feel like a little bit of the hero. I want you to watch here how close you're getting to the edges. Watch back here how close you're getting to the edges. Seeing these other cars, like I know this is a car show. I know you worked on this car, so you can't really ask the other people to move their car. And you need to show the fact that this is a Thunderbird. You need to show these crazy body lines. But could you slide over there and take this chair and like move it out of your shot? Like, could you get back there and just be like, hey, let me just take this chair right here and move it out of my picture, and take this chair back here and move it out of your picture. Just small things, because, hey, you're photographing this car that you just worked on, you know. And again, when you're working on these cars, you should be able to get these people to bring these cars for you any place that you like in order to make like high-end photographs so you can use them to sell your services. For me, because it looks, I'm not sure if you shot this with your Canon or shot this on, sadly, a phone. You didn't mention what you're shooting, but it, again, you're not able to see how insane your paint work is. You're not able to see how mirror your finish is. You can't see it because of the way that this is captured. You're not really able to see the shine. So again, it's like this is closer, but you have to make sure that you're not shooting stuff like this with a phone. Like, even if it's composed well, still it's like it has to be at a level that it's like undeniable, and you lose undeniability when you capture incredible work in a sloppy way. Think of it like this. You want to ask someone to marry you, right? So you go out and you buy them a diamond ring. But then how do you give it to them? Do you give it to them like in a paper bag? No, you have to package it, right? You have to package it in such a way that makes it feel like it's a present, make it feel like something special. And if you're a guy, you got to like do skywriting or come up with some crazy creative way to also give and present this engagement, and then get down on one knee and like ask for a hand in marriage. Like, the whole concept of like proposing to somebody, it's a proposal. Like, you're putting a proposal up there. So when you're selling your business, when you're selling your photography services, you can't take can't have an amazing camera, amazing lenses and all, and then what you're pointing at is sloppy. Like, you can understand when I frame it that way, it's like you have all of this diamond making equipment, but you're not taking enough time or care to create diamonds. So, Les, you're going to do yourself a huge service if get a higher quality camera body. Get a higher quality camera body, get an insane lens, and then every time you're documenting one of these cars, they're taken to a specific location and you make like 5 photos, and you make the same 5 photos every single time. And you make them every single time. And then when you're laying out your portfolio, it's like car shot, car shot, car shot, car shot. And they all look like they've been shot in the same way. Right now, you're putting together, like, you have the most incredible work. You do this amazing restoration, but how you're capturing it is just slap shot. It's just happenstance and grabbies and blah, blah, blah. And like, how are you going to be taken seriously if the way that you're presenting your diamond ring is just in paper bags all over the place, big brother? It can't be like that. Your work is too good for it to be documented this way. And again, this is better than what you're giving me, but this has to be as serious as a heart attack. It's like your very business depends on it. It's all about packaging. And you know how insane I am about my packaging, which is why when you look at my stuff, deep dive, you'll see my stuff is packaged well. Packaging is a game changer for you as a photographer. And the photos are part of the packaging. The most important part, this is showing what you can do. This is showing what you can do. And if you're used to showing people who aren't in the know, then you're always going to get people who don't have enough money, who can barely afford you, who are bouncing checks. If you start polishing your shit and sending it out to people like who are in the know, then you'll have higher rates. You'll be able to do less work and make more money and have happier customers. Seriously, instead of people nickel and diming you. And it's because you're polishing and you're packaging your stuff at 2 different lengths. Like the way that you restore the cars and do the body work and do the paint and all that stuff, everything needs to be captured at a unbelievable level. And the hard thing is you're just one. You're one person. So you send out a bunch of little bits of media to let people know what you're doing, but you don't spend any time like weeks on one piece of media that would show like the front to back fixing one car. Doing that sales tool would make it so you'd never stop working. But you're too busy to do that, so you're just sending out little bits of stuff and it's imperfect and it's hurting your brand. I'm gonna say it, I can't say it any more clear. It's hurting your brand, big girl. I hope that helps you. Advertising, it seems like this is the category, like this is the assignment. There's a couple of assignments that I give, and I can't tell you how few people knock it out of the park. It's so hard. It's so hard. It took me, I mean, I shot my first ads in like my first 3 years of business, like national ads. But it's like, advertising is a really hard nut to crack. It's a really hard nut to crack. But there are specific rules that like, you can't mess with like the rules of advertising. There's rules. If you don't understand what the rules are, the format, like you just miss. You just keep miss. It's because you don't look at advertising the same way that I do. You're not looking at applied photography the same way that I do. You can learn it. You can learn how to do it. You just have to look at photography different. You have to look at it differently. This is Marvin Miller. Marvin says 1.4 2/50th of a second, 125 millimeter, shot with a 7200 at ISO 100. This is Marvin Miller. And Marvin. This, my friend, this is a winner. This is so good for like Marvin. And I want you to hear me, bro. You've been around for like a month and a bit, maybe 2. Your progress, bro. You were fucking all over the place. Yes or yes. You were all over the place Yes or yes? Who's this photographer? Focused, deliberate, idea, light, shadow, moment, no bullshit, no cool poses. It just is. Yo, Marvin Miller. Marvin Miller. Hey, buddy. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Guess what? Now that you've proven, and I knew that you could do this, Marvin. I knew that you could do this. But now that you've proven to yourself that you can do this, brings a new problem. Brings a new problem. Because now, Marvin Miller, now you can't mail it in anymore. You can't. Because if you do, I'm going to just show you this photo. I'm just going to show you this photo. I'm going to be like, hey, Marvin, what happened to this photographer? Where's this guy? Where's him? This photographer, the guy who caught this, thought this, set this up, shot this, executed this perfectly. Where's that photographer? Because I swear to you, Marvin, as sure as I'm sitting here right now, if you rinse and repeat, because this is what we call, this is an 11, but this isn't just an 11. This is a pivotal life and career changing photo. This is the new Marvin. There was literally all the stuff that you went through to get to this place to make this photograph. This photograph, I can teach you how to run a business. I can build a business on this photographer, this one, the guy who made this. So now, what do you do for an encore? That becomes really the question. What do you do next? What do you do next? Do you shoot more Nike? Do you shoot more skateboarding? I think the answer is yes to both of those, because this is incredibly special. It's on format. It's technically perfect. His eye line is just a little bit too much to the left, but like, this is just swaggy. Yes, his tag is coming down into his face a little bit, blah, blah. Small things, honestly, small things. But Marvin, you've arrived. You've arrived. This is the beginning of me seeing you as the photographer that I really believe that you could be. And I think also you seeing yourself as the photographer that you think that you should be. This is killer. This, everybody, is Marvin Miller. I don't know if you've gotten 11 before, my Marvin, but congratulations. If you haven't, that is unequivocally an 11. And it's so funny, the people who hit on advertising, like, and the people who are missing, I hate to be so dry, but people who are missing, like whoosh, whiffing. And the people who are like, interesting this week. Interesting. And if you're watching along at home, this is a bit of a soap opera. Seriously, pick your pony. Pick your pony. Pick your pony. Because now, Marvin, all of a sudden, people are going to start being like, okay, I'm going to start watching this Marvin guy. I'm going to see what his pictures look like next week. You don't understand. Everybody who's submitting here, there's people who are watching at home who are rooting for you. There's people who are watching at home that actually believe next week is going to be the week that you're going to get photo of the week. There's people who actually believe. They're believing in you. It's not just me that's believing. Like, I have people who are watching, like thousands of people who watch this show. And it's like, they're just rooting you on. And they're believing in what I'm doing, and they're seeing the progress. So, Marvin Miller, welcome to the show. Congratulations, buddy. All right. Yeah, hey, if you feel like this is high quality content, do tell a friend. I'm a very passionate dude. I don't really fuck around, as you can see. I'm very serious when it comes to photography. This is Matt Carlson. Hello, this is my first attempt on a vertical hero ad in my people-specific niche. Shot on an R6 with a 100mm f13 at 1/60th of a second. Shot with continuous light and a reflector. Easy adjustments in Lightroom and a little bit of Photoshop cleaning done on the photo. This is Matt Carlson, everybody. Matt's with his hero advertising photo. Matt Carlson. Yes, is my answer. Yes. Unequivocally, this is a yes. This is a yes. This is simple. This is elegant. This is framed like textbook. I want you to see the distance and the distance. The distance. Like the distance to where his wrist bends down, the amount of space he gave up here, because you know any of this can cut without losing this most important thing. How delicate that hand is holding this incredibly delicate bottle. And then let's look at the focus. The focus is insane. And he had the type of hand that would wear this perfume. Like, this is not like, this is a perfume that like an older, more sophisticated, refined woman would wear. And this is fantastic. This is 100% a yes for me. Matt's, this is yes. And again, I'll notice, and I'm going to remind you, simple elements, no bullshit, just the product, and it's captured the light. This just, yes. It's just yes. And you see this, just yes. Matt's, yes. Beautiful. Very, very, very well done. Taylor, what do you think of this? Yeah, I thought so. She's into it too, bro. Taylor's going crazy. Matt Carlson, everybody. Well done, Matt. Well done. All right. All right. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. The people who are submitting early, and again, I'm moving, you got to understand, like, the way that this goes, I look at it like first submission to last submission. The people who are flying their submissions in, sometimes it's scheduling, sometimes it's like, it's like, slow down. Start shooting right away, but know that like you might need to shoot that again and shoot it again and shoot it again. There's times I've shot things like 4 times, like stuff that I'm shooting for myself, personal work, something I'm developing. There's like video content, like there's videos that like are in the bin that I've shot like 4 times. There's videos that are on my channel that I've shot 6 times, 8 different times I filmed that video. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's just because I have a level of standards. I have standards. And if something doesn't meet my standard, it goes in the bin. Even if I made it, it goes in the bin. I learned something from it. The next time, won't go in the bin. All right, this is Seth Oliveres. Hero advertising, shot with the 80D. Sigma 70 to 50, 1/25th of a second, f11, ISO 200. Shot with 2 Godox speed lights. This is hero advertising from Seth Oliveres. I think that's the best way I can pronounce it at the moment. Seth. Also in the picture. Oops, we don't need to see that. Seth, I'm like, I need to know what your niche is. If you're a people shooter, and I know that that's you, it's hard to be the photographer behind the camera and also be the one posing in the camera. But the light that you have on yourself here is great. The light that you have here is a check. The fact that this is in focus and this is out of focus a little, that's a check for sure. The product is a little skewed, meaning it's crooked. I'm sorry that I'm highlighting the Yves Saint Laurent here, meaning that it is like leaning to the left. You can see it's leaning that way or leaning to the right. The distance that you see beside here and beside here, when we have like a part of the frame to like go up against, and then like this huge thing, and then it's also on top of what looks like you just flipped like something upside down, like a garbage can or something like that, because I can see the nubs right here and right here and right here. because that's a garbage can or a plant pot or something like that. So again, I'm like insane with the details that I notice, Seth. You're going to notice, like, you're going to be able to just at some point realize, like, you can't hide anything from me. The way that this is centered, it's not centered between here and here. It's pushed way that way. Yeah, and it doesn't need a platform, and also you don't need to be in this photo. Like, there's two different things. You don't need to be in the photo, and it doesn't need a platform. If you're trying to shoot product, then I shoot that. But if you're trying to shoot just find a stand-in. And also, you don't need to show the whole guy. You can just show from here down, him just holding it. Just like this last shot that we just saw, that was so good. It's like just holding it and just a male hand. If that was your hand, that would have worked way better than seeing you trying to undo your tie, like, or do up your tie, or you just had sex with somebody, or you're about to have sex with somebody, or like, it now just brings too many different things in my head. Like, what is it for? You're selling this, and I know that there's lifestyle that has to kind of go in that in order to do that, but it can't be you, because you can't also pose like Sean Penn or Brad Pitt or whatever, and also be the guy who is the world famous household name photographer. You don't get to be ego and, hey, let's my picture, hey, let's me be in the picture, and I'm also taking the picture. This is like just a control thing, or you don't have anybody to stand in to be this person, so you can be behind, so you can direct them, and you can notice all of these mistakes that are happening on this side of the camera, which is where you should be. Anytime I see somebody trying to fit themselves into a self-portrait because they didn't have anybody or time ran out, it's just like, bro, how many pictures of you in your portfolio are there going to be? Literally, how many pictures of you behind, like, the product that you're shooting? Like, your client's going to pay you to shoot pictures of you for their campaign. So, Seth, please, no. Like, remove yourself from your photography. You don't see me in my own portfolio. You see lots of pictures on me because I'm a person of influence, and like it's my own. I'm a brand. So you're seeing pictures of me because I'm a brand, but I'm not trying to sell anything other than me and my brand. I'm not necessarily attaching myself to a product unless it's a sponsor and they're paying me. So Seth, this is a bit of a miss. You got to take this shit seriously, bro. And again, I'll say, if you go and look at Loam, Om, and then YSL, and see what like YSL Om ads look like, you'll notice there's no guys in any of their advertising. Like, this is as close as it gets, and that shot is like a stock shot of a huge actor, and they just put the product on top of the picture. So they do that a lot. So again, if you're shooting or choosing this brand to shoot, or this, like, find out what other people are doing with it. Find out what other people are doing with it, and you're going to notice, wow, it's just handsome white dudes with the like lifestyle shot or model-y shot with the perfume bottle overlaid, which looks hokey as fuck. And then there's this, which is actually like sick product photography. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to pick a lane. And I don't think that, like, again, you can see here's another one. All I want to do is punch all of these dudes in the face. That's all I want to do. I want to punch this guy and all the subsequent previous dudes that I sent you. This is literally stupid. Like, so if you're trying to make this kind of work, I got it, but focus on being a fashion photographer and just shoot amazing fashion pictures, and let cheesy advertising agencies put their like bad like cut and paste on top of your photography. But trying to be both of these is just like, Seth, come on. Are you trying to be this guy right now, or are you trying to be a photographer? I hope that brings you value. All right, that is Seth, everybody. Seth Olivius. Next, let's see who's on deck and how many we have left. Oh, they just keep going. Jeez Louise. They just keep going. All right. I'm getting hungry here. Here we go. Next is Sean Thomas. And you know what's so funny? I ripped Sean Thomas a new asshole. I'm like, Sean, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Seriously, what are you doing? And then he produces this. So for my advertisement hero shot, I plan to use an iconic brand in the most hero-esque stance position. Front-facing portrait from a lower angle to convey a sense of power, authority, and dominance. If anybody's watched my photo where I did one-on-one coaching with this photographer, and I looked through his entire portfolio and helped him tailor his portfolio, and I also told him what he was missing. And then he kind of fell off. So Sean's back, and it looks like he's taking this a bit seriously again. So Sean says he shot a low angle to convey the sense of power, authority, and dominance. This technique is often used to emphasize the strength or significance of the subject. To enhance the impact of the image, I wanted the location to complement the car and vice versa. Last but not least, time of day for the shoot. By making the decision to shoot at dusk, I've now created an instant mood. Hope you enjoy. Shot at the Canon EOS R, 80th of a second, f3.5, ISO 200, shot at 70 with a 24-70 Tamron lens. This is Sean Thomas. Sean, welcome back. Glad you're back, my guy. Let's go. Sean Thomas. Sean, like... It's like, I shouldn't have to shake you, bro. I shouldn't have to shake you to produce work that you and I both know that you can make. Like, this is undeniable. Like, very, very, very good. Very good. I want you to watch what's going on in the post here. I know you're getting like a little bit of glow that's happening with the light, and it's causing a little bit of like distortion to happen back there, but it's more than acceptable. Let me just hide my camera here. The logos are sharp, the grills are sharp. Yeah, Sean, it's good. I mean, I'm just worried that like your aperture is a little narrow. It's a little open. You're in a tricky situation here, but there's no limit to how long you can do this exposure. I would have liked to have seen just a touch more F, but overall, Sean, this is a yes for me. This is a yes for me unequivocally. This is the level of work that you have to do. This is the level of work that's expected, and you have to believe in yourself, my guy. Like, you're working like in a factory for an hourly rate, and this is the work that you create. Do you understand how like preposterous that is? Like, I'm looking at like a $10,000 a day photographer's work right here, and you're not making money from your photography. So this is where I come in. Sean's in my accelerator. It's like consistency and staying on it and continually producing, like even when we don't feel like it, even when we're down. All of this stuff is part of the game. But Sean, this is unequivocal. This is undeniable. This is an 11. Yes. Well done, Sean. Good shit. And again, it's like you have this in you, man. You have this in you, and it's like, I know that everybody needs motivation. Everybody needs a coach. And I act as that coach. I act as team leader. Like, yes, I of course. But at the same point, it's like, I have to stay motivated. And how I get motivated is by seeing progress, you know? And that progress comes from you. That progress comes from you doing the work. That progress comes from you, like, doing the research before you pick up your camera. New person? Oh, I have an idea for a picture. Click. Got it. That's a new photographer. Unexperienced photographer? I have an idea for a picture. Okay, what's the product? It's this. Okay, let's look to see what's out there on the internet about that product, on that product, what other people have done. Let's see what the clients are buying on that product. Let's see what the advertising looks like. Let's see what kind of people are spending money on this. Like, let's do all the research. Let's see the shots that what worked. Let's see what went viral. Let's do all of that work before, and then make the photo. You see the difference? Because now you're making photos with your head full of information, references, mood boards, like concepts. And then the execution part, easy. Many people, what they do is they're coming up with the ideas as, okay, well, there's that, and that might work. Oh, no. Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah. That could work. It's like, that's what you're doing. Yes or yes. Trying to make things work rather than finding things that work and then giving your spin on something that's proven to work. That the industry is like, give me more of that. Instead, you're doing things that you think works, that they don't. They don't work. Because it's just you, and you don't have the experience yet. You don't have the inputs yet. You don't have the information yet. So how could you possibly know what works? How could you possibly? Information. It's all I'm trying to give. It's all I'm trying to share. Information before you shoot means what you shoot is going to make you loot. Oh, there you go. Say that again. Information before you shoot means what you shoot will make you loot. This is Manuel Denis. My first time submitting, trying to show the bulkiness of the watch and pair it to the bricks to convey it. The watch is massive with vibrant color on the crown paired with bronze and gold handles. Fuji X H2 80mm f22 ISO 125 continuous light at a 1/4 of a second. ATEM's crashing these days. I don't know why that's happening these days, but it is. All right, let's look at manual. All right, let's open she up. All right. First off, the thing that's supposed to be in focus is the face of the watch, which is down here. This part is the only thing that ever needs to be in focus. This part, which is what is currently in focus, is not that important. And it's also like way on one side of the frame, which makes it like not the main focus. You can assume that this is the main focus where we're supposed to be looking. If you want our eyes to go there, you gotta focus on the brand. You're focusing down here, which is the date. Like you can see here, this is more sharp, and down here is more sharp. Yeah, for me, this is like a personal taste thing, but this is like one of the ugliest watches I've ever seen. I hate to be so dry, and I hope it's not yours, or you own it or bought it for somebody, but just a style thing. I just think that this is gaudy. Because of that, it becomes really difficult to like see past like all the extra nonsense that are attached to this watch. For me, it's a style that's like not right now. Maybe it's a style that was cool like 5-10 years ago, but unless it's a Rolex, like shooting watches, like when you're shooting a watch with the kind of fine detail that a 30 to 50 megapixel camera is going to show, when you're now looking at it like that, all it's showing is it's like the way that it looks kind of cheap. Like that's all it's showing. So yeah, for me, this is the wrong product. Although I do appreciate the way that you tried to shoot it. Like there's like, if you want to even just see the bar as far as, just see the bar as far as, like just do a search like, of like a Rolex, like what Rolex advertising looks like It could be as simple as this. It literally could be as simple as this, which is just look at the face of this watch. So I feel like that particular watch, I mean, this is what watch photography looks like. There's no radical angles, so you're actually able to see the whole face of the watch and it's all in focus. So this is also like, if you're going to shoot details of a watch, this is what details of a watch look like, and how absolutely like high end this Tag Heuer, or this is a Rolex, I mean, is. So it's like, look at how fresh that is, man. Like, so if you're doing watch photography, you have to look at watch photography to see what the bar is. And then when you're choosing a watch, it can't be something that isn't classic and timeless, because this watch is trendy and like gaudy. So as soon as this trend is over, this watch is in a drawer and whoever owns it is never going to wear it again. So that's enough on this watch. I think the watch is hideous. The photo is okay. You need to be better at depth of field and also using watch references in order to find the angle at which for you to capture the watch in the best way. I hope that brought you value. One of the things is going to bite you. You're trying to be a product photographer, shooting ugly products. It's going to bite you. Like trying to be a people photographer, shooting overweight, unhealthy people. It's going to bite you, because that's not the picture of health and it's not a desirable product. So shoot people who are desirable and you will attract people to your business. Shoot products and things that are desirable. Then you will attract people who desire to be near the type of things that you photograph. Shoot things that nobody cares about. You're not attracting anybody. So my thing is, do a double entendre. While you practice, shoot things that people care about. Don't practice shooting things that people don't care about, because if you get something cool, you got something cool on something that nobody cares about. And guess what? It's a lot harder to get something cool on something that's dirty, old, messy, banged up. Like, that's not a desirable right now of the minute thing. If you're not using a brand new product, that people care about as your hero, why are you attaching yourself to it? And I said that in the brief. All right. I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you. I said that in the brief. Like, attach yourself to products that people care about. So this is Vicky Sonic. So Vicky says, here's my submission. So Atlas daydreaming of their next adventure. Shot with the Z6 Mark II 50mm at 1/400th of a second, 3.5 ISO 100. This is Vicky Sonic. Vicky, part of my accelerator, also has done so much one-on-one with me. Vicky, this is what I would call an end page photo. Like, is it an ad? It's more a cover, Vicky. This is a magazine cover. And again, like, it's so fucked, excuse my language, because I've trained you to be an editorial shooter. Like, I've trained you to see the world editorially. And this is also you in the picture. This is part of your self-directed project. All the things that I talked about last week with you, like choosing outfits that were brighter, that matched the helmet, that popped off the background. Like, you're doing all of that stuff. The Life magazine, Apollo 12, on the moon, you're wearing a space helmet, like you're looking at your buddies. Like, this is a yes, 100%. And it's also an 11. And it also is a portfolio picture. But it's not a hero advertising picture, because there's nothing to buy. There's nothing really here to buy. The space helmet is yours. It's not for sale. The dress is yours. It's not for sale. The Life magazine is vintage. It's from an archive. It's from your collection. It's also not for sale. So what you're selling is a moment. What you're selling is a lifestyle. And that's why this is an editorial portrait and not not quite as much as a hero advertising photo, but it's still sick, Vicky. And still, I'm going to tell you, one of my favorite self-portraits from your series that you've done. So congratulations. Good on you. All right. And you know what else is crazy is I'm going to start giving you guys combination assignments. And this week is our first combination assignment, meaning this week's assignment is you're doing two things. You're doing this, but you're also doing this. And that together is the assignment that you have to do. So it's really going to be hard. It's really going to be hard. Some of you are going to sing. Some of you are going to flunder like this week. All right, guys, that was Vicky. Let's get into, and you got to stay to the end of this episode to find out who won photo of the week this week, and who won best in show, and also to find out what next week's assignment is. This is Justin Mitchell. This is Hero Advertising, Nike Challenger shorts. Not the location or the time of day I was aiming for, but still learning to program my time properly, and he's paying the price. He's still trying to organize his schedule, which is basic. I mean, he's in New Zealand, I think, as well, Justin. So, Sony A7R Mark III, Sigma 24-70, shot at 70, f5, shot at 100th of a second, ISO 640. Used a little bit of outdoor strobe, a little modifier reflector action. This is just in case, Justin Mitchell. Justin, thanks for submitting. So the Challenger shorts are the vibe. I totally got that. The crop is weird. I'm going to help you with that. First, the knee is too close to that side, and you're cutting an ankle. An ankle is like the thing you don't cut. You don't cut mid-shin. You don't cut feet off that way. Try not to cut hands off at the wrist. Like, these things are like, they're shocking. And especially because you placed a logo down there, so our eyes can't help but go down there. This is working. Okay, this back foot is working. This like bent leg, like he's kind of like in it. He's kind of doing the vibe. Like, yeah, the fact that they're brand new shorts, that's cool. The nondescript, what other clothes he's wearing, all cool. It's just the crop, even the exposure, the outdoor flash, like the hint of a basketball up here, although that basketball is kind of out of the frame. If we made this an 8x10, right? Like if we made this an 8x10, this is 1 inch right there. We'll call 1 inch right there. This is 2 inches right here. So that's where we're going for an 8x10. Roughly. Okay, so that's now a 4x5 proportion. So now you're cutting under the knee, that Nike sock is gone, and we keep the basketball. Or we crop from the top, we take away the basketball, we take half the vest, and we crop at the ankle and show the Nike logo. So this is close. Exposure, yes. The detail in the shorts, yes. All of these, yes, bro. It's just like, this is really, really radical. Like down here at this crop, this is really close, and that's too high up to the frame. You got to remember that down here is 12 inches. Oh my God, I'm drunk. This is 12 inches. That way is 8 inches. And Instagram, this is a 3x2 proportion. Instagram is 4x5 proportion. 4x5 equals 8x10. 2x3 is 4x6s, and like 8x12s, and like 20x30 30s, like that's the 2x3, you know, so you have to get used to like, you don't get the whole frame. It's not the whole frame. You actually, especially verticals, you got to give your stuff some space this way, and you got to pull back a little bit so you can crop it down to an 8x10. Look at this as a cover. We lose the basketball, which is a main part of the shot. All things you got to think about that bring you value. That is Justin Mitchell. Thanks, Justin, for submitting and being a part of this accelerator and this amazing thing we got going on here.
This is the Carty Method Podcast.
All right, Salim El Madani. Hey gang, here's my hero shot. Sony A7R Mark III, 1/60th of a second, f3.2, ISO 400, 85 millimeter. Hero shot. The idea was a hero advertising shot. Thank you for submitting, Salim. But editorially, man, like this is the thing that I like is like your ideas are becoming a lot more concise. Your ideas are becoming a lot more clear. He's fixing his hair, which I kind of get. I kind of wish that he was just like on his phone, leaning, like this is the vibe. Rather than him fixing his hair, he's leaning up against the wall. His phone is out and he's like looking at his phone, and then the ad is for the sunglasses, or the ad is for the phone, or the ad is for the outfit. But then when we get to the outfit, I see these really hard wrinkles here in the pleats, really hard wrinkles down here. I know that these are pleated pants. I know that's a pleat. I know that's a pleat. I know that's a pleat, but I know that's a wrinkle. I know that's a wrinkle. That's a wrinkle. And it's just, this shirt is not wrinkled pretty much at all, but his pose here is distracting. I don't know what he's doing here. Are you holding your hair down? Are you hiding the fact that you're balding? Like, what are we doing up here? So it's just like the hands up there, and it's also blocking part of his face. And to me, the sunglasses are one of the coolest features that he's wearing. So I want to see that. So his hand here is blocking the detail that I see on the other arm of his sunglasses. And the exposure in here is under, I'll call this 1/3, maybe as far as 1/2 of a stop underexposed. But Slim, idea, exposure, like the exposure is so close. And again, this is like, you're such a location photographer, and you're getting so much better. Slim's in my one-on-one training and in my accelerator, like the progress that you're making is so good. And again, with you, Now for me, I'm helping you with body language. I'm helping you with noticing, like scanning your frames and noticing the smallest details. But Salim, your progress is legit. It's just, again, like the way that it looks to you is like, as people get better, I'm still like, no, this, no, this, no. And yeah, that is the vibe. That is the vibe. That is the vibe. As you get better, you create more problems. As you start getting better, you start learning, oh my God, I need to figure this out. Or I missed that, because you're focusing so much on this one part of your photography that you're trying to get better at. You're missing this whole other part that you learned way a long time ago and then forgot, because now you're working on this. So I'm here to kind of try to constantly like unify all of these puzzle pieces like we talked about at the beginning of the episode. And that's mostly mindset, organization, and clarity. Clarity. The clearer you can be with conveying your ideas through a photograph, the bigger and faster that you're going to be as a photographer, the faster you're going to hit. I'm telling you, it's clear. Be clear. Don't do anything confusing. Don't let anything confusing happen in your, it's like, why are you doing that? Like, seriously, it's like nighttime, sunglasses. It's like, why are you doing that? Because I look for, it's like, bro, why are you doing that? Are you a rapper? Are you dropping an album? Like, what are you doing? You know? So just remove all the stuff from your photos that doesn't make sense. Just, and stop people from doing things in your photos that don't make sense. Do that. This is why you see like my picture of my girlfriend here on my phone. It's very funny. You'll see. It's like, I shoot her like she's a tourist. Like, that's it. That's the photo. Look at the pose. She's just standing there, because the whole idea is the space that she's in. She's not like, you know what I mean? Or like, Dude, like, what? Just stand there. You know what I mean? Let's show the scale of how small you are within this huge space. Let's not distract anything else from that. So that's what we're trying to do. And again, we're trying to make people look cool. And it usually, how people look cool is by them not trying to be cool. Straight up. How you become cool is by not trying. So too many people try to be cool and they fail miserably, and it's laughable. This guy's trying to be cool. Whenever you see someone trying to be cool, be like, stop trying to be cool. And you'll see me say that all the time. This is Colin from Arresting Photos. Colin says this. This is shot on plexi to make the comb appear like it's floating. Colin is saying, seeing how the level of these submissions, he doesn't think that this is even worthy. Shot with the Nikon D5600 50mm 1.8 at f16, 1/60th of a second, ISO 100 with 2 lights. This is Colin Blair from Arresting Photos. Colin, let's go. Thanks for submitting. Colin, I don't think you're that far off, to be honest. I don't think that you're that far off. And I think the thing that's great about this is you're actually on this trajectory. And this trajectory is constantly like getting you better and better and better and better. Number one, I hope that you're not on a PC, because it seems like there's a huge color thing. You see how this is your white background. This is your white background, but you see how this is white? Like, do you see how off this, if it's not pure white, it should be neutral, meaning it should be gray. But this is blue. And by the way, blue in photography terms is actually purple. That's what you call it. It's blue. This is called blue. What you know as blue is called cyan, by the way. Blue in photography or in light is like a purple cast. So this has this is blue. It has like a purpley cast. You can see it carries all the way through here. So this is color balance or white balance, however you want to call it. It's white balance, which means we need to have that neutral. Exposure wise, it could bump up. Like, I would give this plus another half a stop of exposure, but not so much that we lose this edge. You can see here how we're still maintaining a little bit of this edge. We don't want to up the exposure to losing this, but also you use a blocker, you use a gobo, you use a flag, you use something to stop the kickback on this specific area because it's blending into the white back here. So these are small things, like as you like really start getting insane with product photography is what you notice. But this I love the concept of the floating comb. It's really cool. The reflections that you have happening down here are really cool. But I looked at my monitor. The first thing I did when I looked at my monitor is, like, when I opened this photo, is I tried to wipe my eyelash off this frame, because it's literally right here. And I thought that was on my monitor. So I tried to wipe that off my monitor because I thought I had an eyelash there, but it turns out you have an eyelash in your frame and you left it. And also now it's making me want to do a full inspection. And now I'm seeing this. And as you go through the packaging, blah, 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 this is kind of okay. I'm seeing this. And so that's like, this is how I scan my photos. I scan them like this. And I also see some sort of post-production thing that you did in here. And it's really hard to see, but I'm gonna show you. Look. Oops, let me just get rid of that. Let me show you. You can see it right here. It's like a brush that you used, like right here, around here. See that? So again, I see everything. It's part of my gift, and it's also a curse because it's hard to date when, I mean, thank God I don't have to date anymore. But you can see it right here. You can see it right here. So again, this is all stuff that, like, you have to look at your images at the same sort of like insanity that I look at your images. And I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it. And you have to see it too. You got to see every eyelash, every fleck, every like, cause like that shit can't make it to your portfolio. So I hope that brought you value. That is Colin from Arresting Photography, Arresting Photos. Colin Blair. Wow, there are so many more. We are at 2.5 hours here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 left. All right, guys. This is Andy Phillips. Andy says, product photography is his niche. Teach them while they're young. Canon Rebel T3i 7200, f5.6, 1/200 of a second, ISO 400. This is Andy Phillips. Andy, let's see this work. Andy, thanks for submitting. So I definitely see this is another situation where it's 2 photos in one. And I mean, I definitely understand the necessity of showing the fact that there is a fire over this child's shoulder. And he has this very necessary tool, which is a fire extinguisher. So yeah, I get it, necessary. But he's very, very far to the left, so much so that the handle of this fire extinguisher is actually going to get clipped. The Advantage brand of the fire extinguisher, and actually the fire extinguisher itself, is clipped and so close to this edge. I'm going to tell you a secret. If you just stood over here and hit him from that direction, then this whole gap where there was no fire there, that whole gap would be full of fire. And then his face would have this fire behind it. Then you could center him, still cut his head off, but show more of this. So, and again, the exposure on this is low. This is under by about half a stop. Yeah, about that. I need a drink. One sec. And also, the reason that I'm increasing the price is it just takes a lot out of me, by the way. This just takes a lot out of me. You can see I give such intensive reviews. It's just like I can't do anything for the rest of the day after I do photo reviews. So, yeah, that's the reason. So, Andy, small things. Make sure you're in the right spot. Juxtapose yourself that way. This little control thing, I don't know what that is not quite as important as it is this and this flames in the background. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of this kid's face. It would really sell the safety aspect of it, but it's a good effort. Keep shooting. Keep trying. For sure. Like, this is like so close, but the framing, like, again, if I was hiring you, I know that this tube is part of the fire extinguisher, and you can't just show this without showing this, but you have to figure out a way to juxtapose this so it's more centered in the frame and not so like he looks like he's part of another picture. Andy, thank you. All right. Who next? We got to get out of here within the next 30 minutes or I'm going to turn into a pumpkin. I can't do, I can't, like, we're at 2.5 hours right now. All right, Andy, this is Sean Thompson. Sean, this week I took the product outside. Genius. I was at a bus stop on a hot summer day. An eye-catching ad for water turned me into a customer. Shot using the Z6 with a 24-70, 50 millimeter, shot at 50 at 3200th of a second. 3200th of a second at f4 ISO 400. So Sean Thompson. Sean, this is what I'm expecting from you, Sean. Well played. Very well played, Sean. The only issue is that it is very, very, very tightly cropped. And I'm going to show you what I mean. And I've said it before. And Sean, you're going to hear me say this over and 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 over again. Okay? So lock it in so I don't get frustrated when I have to keep saying this. Our camera shoots 8x12. Okay? 8x12. You've included this product with no space here and no space here. So I'm going to show you what 8x10 looks like with this, like, and this will reveal it to yourself to you when you go to when you try to post this to Instagram. There's 1 inch. There's a 2nd inch. So that right here is what your photo is going to be on Instagram. Now, it still works, Sean, so it's not the end of the world, but you need to know this. And also, look at how high up this thing is to the top of the frame. If this is a cover of a magazine, like, you now see, like, you're not including the whole bottle because it's now behind the thing, or that you have to do a cutout and put the thing in front. It's just, you're too close on this bottle. I can't be clear enough. You need to back up. You're in my accelerator. I'm trying to see you succeed. But if you are not, every time you shoot a vertical picture, like literally putting a finger on the top and a finger on the bottom and being like, yeah, I'm going to lose that much. I need to move back. Like, these are the things that we have to do. This particular shot, it's like beyond the crop, Sean. It's so on the money. Like, it's so on the money, but also, why is it so offset? Which you're noticing today. I'm seeing I'm going to say it again. We offset horizontal pictures, horizontal ones, because they go on 2 pages. We do not offset vertical pictures all the way over here or all the way over here, because mentally, when you're looking at this, our mind wants to center it, which is why I'm sitting in the center. I'm not sitting here, because if I sat here, this would make you fucking crazy. Yes or yes. Look at how painful this is on your eye. Me offset like this. Now, this is video. It's not the same example, because video, and again, you don't apply the same composition rules when you're composing in a video frame as you do when you're composing with a still photograph. But I'm telling you, the reason that you continually see me resetting myself so I'm in the center is because if I'm offset, that's gonna bother you, and you're not gonna be able to focus on the information that I'm telling you. And I'm telling you, the same thing holds true with the way that you frame your photos. If you're not framing your photos like in a more like pleasing way, this is like, it's frustrating. Like, this closeness makes me angry. Like, this now, when it goes to a magazine, it's this. So that's now how close once it goes to print. And then I'm saying, what over here is so important that you need to bias this that way? Did the art director tell you the copy is going down the side? If that's the case, I get it, but I would still say you're too high up here, you're too close here, pull back everything and move over. That's what I would say. Let's look at it close up. Focus wise, it's focused here. The bottle, it goes like this. The bottle is a circle, right? You're not focused on the front, you're focused back here. And you can see you're focused here, not here where the product name is. You're focused more behind. Like this, if you look here, this is the sharpest area. This here, this, not Aquina, which is the name and the brand, and this label. When you look here, this is actually out of focus. You see? This is out of focus. The most important part. And when you go back here, then it starts to get in focus. Over here, which is at a different plane, because this is moving on a surface that's rounded like that. So it means you focused behind your focus point. So because of that, now this whole shot is a wash. Now you can't use it at all. So again, it's like, we're practicing is what we're trying to do, trying to get better. But when you're shooting these photos, I hope you're not shooting one. I hope you're shooting 500 of them. You know what I mean? So you can get an absolute perfect photo. And when we're trying to shoot advertising, the brand is what you're getting paid for. So please don't think that you're going to be able to pass off a brand label being out of focused in advertising. I hope that brings you value, Sean. Here you go. Sean Thompson, guys. Thank you. Not to be mistaken with Sean Thomas. All right. This is Mike Howell. Mike, look at you, buddy. Chose this as my architectural and real estate ad photo. I love the building, the nice cars, shot on my tripod, Nikon D7100, Nikkor 60mm prime, f2.8, 1/8 of a second, 3200. He said it's a mistake shooting at 3200, which it definitely was, Mike, because you have a tripod, you have everything you need. You could make this image at 10 seconds. There's no limit to how long you can make the image. You don't need to shoot at 3200 because you can just keep, as you go to a lower ISO, lower ISO, lower ISO, you just increase your time, increase your time, increase your time. Like I've done 2-minute exposures, 3-minute exposures, 5-minute. Like when you start doing exposures that long with 100 ISO and a super narrow, like what you start seeing is like stars in the sky. You start seeing clouds at night, and like the sky starts looking so rich once you shoot it, like not like when you shoot it at like way longer exposures, like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20-second exposures. Try that. And this shot, which you guys haven't seen yet, would and again, Mike, like just go back and make the shot over again. This is so great. So great. And for you, Mike, this is a definite jump. I definitely see what you're doing here for sure. We have good framing, although we're cropping this car weird. I really wish that this car was parked like the rest of these ones, but the framing, and again, because you are using a tripod, look at your framing. Look at the discipline. It's like I could draw a ruler down the side of this picture because and the bottom. Look at how straight the lines are. Like, Mike, you give yourself a lot of you don't give yourself a lot of credit as far as your photography skills. Like, you're an amazing communicator, but like dealerships at night is a thing. Like, you could really turn this into something, Mike, like really. And the dealerships could be using these for social. You could start even doing them during the day. I mean, at night, it just looks so high end. You're onto something here, Mike. This is really good. I'm giving you an 11 for this. And is this a hero advertising shot? Yes, this is a winner for me. Thank you, Mike Howell. Mike, good shit. Also, Accelerator member. Let's go. All right. So, let's see. We got a few more to look at. Let's see what Monica's saying. Monica, Canon R6 Mark II, 85mm, shot at ISO 100, f2.2 at 1/400th of a second. My senior model friend and I met at our favorite coffee shop to make this portrait. We love their brew, so this is the product. This is Monica P. Monica, thank you for submitting. Monica, let's get it on. So Monica, this is, and again, you're definitely getting there with the light and with your exposure. Like, your exposure is spot on. Like, there's such a vibe here. Sadly, this is not an advertising hero picture. This is an editorial portrait, which again is the type of photographer that you are. You are an editorial portrait photographer. I'm trying to help you see that. This is what I want you to see. Number one, I want you to see this perfect white wall here. Perfect white wall. And then I want you to see this piece of burgundy that is growing directly out of part of her head. This part and these tiles. Okay, and then that, and then now the glass reflection, and then the chair that's on the inside of the glass. Like, all of that is taking away from this face and this smile. Okay, now I'm going to say again, this is not an advertising picture. This is not an advertising hero picture. You're saying that the product is the coffee. That is not the case, because this is a tin cup, like a disposable cup. There's no coffee brand. It's out of focus. This is just, she's holding a cup and it's empty. It's not an advertising picture. This is a portrait, and I want to make that clear. So next, this is the most interesting and like non-distracting. So why not just move her along here and shoot her against this as a background? As a matter of fact, why not stand her up and have her bring the cup to her mouth and then show the lipstick on the cup? And like, that's your picture, you know, kind of a like trailerish kind of, drinking me coffee. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, it like, remove all distractions, because there is no context. I don't know where you are. I don't know if you're in Arizona or you're in Paris. I have no idea where you are. So you're not using the background to give us context as to where you are. So because of that, the only context is her. She's the context. The fact that she's wearing blue eyeshadow and her earrings match the eyeshadow, and then her shirt matches that, and the jade that she's wearing, or the turquoise that she's wearing, matches that. Like, that's the photo. And you can even see, if I just punch in, how much more you're like, oh my God, yes. So she's the character, she's the photo. This is like, she's the everything. But this isn't an ad. This isn't a hero advertising picture. And this window frame, like her sitting right there and you being okay with seeing these tiles, the very nondescript table. Look at the color combination of this table in this background with her in there. Like, that's it. That like purplish table, that white wall, and her like blue shirt, and the eye, like just that. Everything that's happening back here behind her on that side it's just like, why is that there? So again, you're trying to editorialize everything. You're trying to editorialize it. And how you editorialize it is by removing the bullshit that's in your frame that's not adding to the picture. If it's not adding to what you're doing, take it out. And if it's a contextual, cheesy hotel room, motel boat, yes, show all of that because it's context. But when it's not, or when it's half, it's just like, take it out. It's just distracting. I hope that brings you value. That is Monica P. Monica, thanks for submitting. All right. Who next? This is Fred Deadsy. So his architecture is real estate, and architecture. His architecture is real estate. I think I just said that. His niche is architecture and real estate. Hence the photo. 32 millimeter f8 ISO 100, 3 brackets, 3 stops apart, shot R6, and the 14 to 35 f4 lens. Fred is also in my accelerator. He's here with me to learn how to be an interiors superstar. Let's go, Fred. Let's see what you got here for me. So Fred, I definitely see what you're doing. Let's look at this as a cover. Advertising hero. This is tricky because there is no main feature in this shot. Like, the feature is the table. So the table, more of the table and some of the chairs. Okay, so then the table's the feature. Like right now, the only feature is this like sort of wash of like plaster on white canvas that this place bought and spent tons of money on. You know what I mean? Like, this is one of those like just highbrow like canvas with nothing on it kind of art, and that is actually what you're mainly focusing on. These things are scary. I don't know what the hell these are. I know it's an interiors thing, but like not really a feature. What is happening with this grill here, my guy? What's happening with this here? Like, these are things that I know are elements of the room, but why are you including them in your photo from the perspective that you're choosing to stand? Also, this little door frame here, like, I don't need to see this door frame at all. In fact, if that door frame wasn't there, it would make your picture a lot more clean, white, and optimistic. I definitely understand why I'm seeing the drop ceiling here because there's lights up there, but these light fixtures that are over the table plus this little door frame that you're seeing here is unimportant. But what is important is this table and these chairs, because these chairs are the most expensive thing in the table in the room, but you're not showing it. You're just showing this floor pattern, this grate, this, and these two weird, again, fake plants. So for me, it's juxtaposition here. I would like, I'm not in the room. I don't see what's in there. I know the lens you're shooting with, I believe it's relatively small, but it's tricky. It's up to you to try to figure out a way to make these rooms really interesting. Your lines are incredibly straight, which I appreciate, but I don't think that we need this extra detail. Here, these things, that's the woman's taste or whoever's taste it is. I got that. This table, can you move this table over to show more of this table and to hide that grate in the meantime? Like having this floor as the main, there's so much floor, I don't think we need that much of it. And also this, it's nothing, it's just a canvas, so there's nothing to sell here. There's nothing we're buying here because there's nothing that we're seeing enough of to know enough about it to be interested in it more enough to buy, unless it's those two lollipop plants that just make me want to take them and throw them out the window. Again, I'm not responsible for interior designers' taste, but yeah, basically those are the things that I'm trying to help you watch. Watch this stuff. These grates, these plugs, yes, I get that they're necessary. Your lines and your discipline with your super straight lines, I do appreciate, but you have to watch this kind of stuff because, again, just seeing this extra little bit of border, not necessary. Seeing this extra little bit of border, not necessary. I hope this brings you value. Thank you for submitting. Newly acquired into the accelerator, Fred. Thank you for submitting. All right. This is Jay Williams. Jay says, and Jay, good for you, buddy. Daughter flying a DJI Mini 3 after earning her recreational drone license. As the drone is the hero of this shot, it is in focus, and my daughter is blurred, and the shot is from behind. She represents anyone can fly. Pentax K3 Mark III, 50mm ISO 800 f4, 1/30th of a second. This is Jay Williams. Jay, also in my accelerator. Let's go, Jay Williams. Yes. Yes. Yes is the answer. Yes. Yes. Definitely yes. Let's have a look at this as a cover. Yeah, for sure, Jay. This is a hit. This is a hit for me. Small things down here. This little bit of the roof you don't need. So that, I would love that to be gone. Seeing these little bit of trees here. Look at now what happens when I take those trees out. And it takes that hint of green out of the picture. And now you only see her and the sky. Well, now you have no idea how high up she is. You have no idea if she's on the top of a mountain or if she's in her backyard. So for me, that's like the only small things that I see, which are easy to crop out. When you go to Instagram, that stuff is going to be cropped out. But sadly, you are going to cut her elbow because you can see her elbow is super, super close to the bottom of the frame here. Again, you know, this is something that we always have to watch. We have to scan the frame and make sure that like we have space, because you know when that goes to print you're going to lose the elbow. When this goes to 8x10, the thing that's good is 8x10 is going to go right to about call it right here. So you have plenty of room to make an 8x10, plenty of room to have this go on Instagram. Exposure's a touch low, your sky's just a touch ominous. Not enough exposure here on this drone. I would want this to go plus. Like that's gray, right? That drone's gray. This is also gray down here. It's feeling too dark. I would want that to go plus at least another 50%. So we'll call that half a stop. A little bit more. You're not going to lose anything in here. You're not going to lose anything in here. You're not going to lose anything in the sky. You're not going to lose anything by giving more exposure. Another shot exists down here, which is what's happening on this screen and her fingers on that. There's like definitely another picture in there, which I would have tried to zero in and catch, which you could have definitely got as like a hero shot with maybe the drone out of focus in the background. This is a win for me. This is a win, Jay. This is for sure a, but fix those small things, tweak the exposure. I think you'll find a very, happy Jay when you fix the exposure. This will be a small thing. All right, that is Jay Williams. This is Mike Lilly, partner of Cynthia Lilly. Real estate shot, advertising, oceanfront living. This is DJI Mini 3 shot vertically with at 6.7 millimeter. 50th of a second, f1.7 at ISO 100. This is Mike Lilly shooting with a drone. Let's go, Mike Lilly. Yeah, this is a yes. This is a yes, for sure. This is a yes. Yeah, Mike. Again, it's like, I feel like I had to like give you a little shake. I mean, Mike's in my accelerator. You're very talented, dude. You really have a good eye for this. It's incredibly difficult to do this with a drone. Small things I want you to watch. This is pretty much as close as you can go here with the edge, but we're losing the steps. I really wish I saw a little bit more of the steps, a little bit more of that down railing, and a little bit more bush on that side. But again, that's just going to now give us more of this other neighbor's place and push this whole thing offset. So I definitely understand what you're doing. Yeah, possibly a bit of a rotation this way, hitting it a little bit straight. You can see this kind of railing like acts as like a line up for the center of the center of the house, like this railing right here. Oops, that's not the right spot. Pull it right from here. So this railing kind of acts as the center of the space, and you're to the left of it. So what I would do is move this way, so I was on this axis, so I could like basically see a little bit more of what's happening back there. It's going to give me a little bit of a smoother perspective on the pool. The pool is so sick. It's going to give me a little bit more of a perspective up there, and it's not really going to change anything here. So small thing, I think you needed to step over like 1 foot. 1 foot. You were not stepping, you were flying. So just drone over like 1 foot. It's really hard because you're on a small screen and blah, 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 blah. I find flying drones and shooting photos is really hard. I shooting drone, but this is high end, Mike. This is a yes for me though. Just to be clear, this is definitely a yes. Mike Lilly and the big blue sky, big Simpsons clouds, like really dope picture. It's definitely going to go in your book. And you're also like expanding your tricks a little bit. You know what I mean? Expanding your tricks, the way that you're using light. Like you just, yes, Mike, thank you. Yes. All right. Hey, you guys with me still? You enjoying yourselves? I haven't been watching to see if there's even anybody watching me still. So, I just do this for me at this point. And the 1 or 2 people who are watching. There better be more than 1 or 2 people watching, or I'm going to stop doing photo reviews altogether. Rob Wilson Jr., we call him Alpha Monk, and Alpha Monk is the last photo of the day. The last photo of the day. Rob Wilson Jr. Alpha Monk, ISO 400, f9, 100 millimeter, 1/10 of a second. One more for my Summer Days series. So refreshing when we're together. This is Rob Wilson Jr. He's in my accelerator, Rob Wilson. And again, it's just like, this shit works. You just see how much like the work, just how high up the work goes with people who just happen to also be in my accelerator. This is a yes for me. This is a yes for me. There's a couple things that bother me. The thing that bothers me the most is this platform. This platform, I'm like, get rid of this, dude. Get rid of this. We don't need that. And this platform, like, how can we hide this? Can we put an apple, a blood orange, something in front of this platform? Like, imagine you get a blood orange. This is Thatcher's blood orange cider. You go, you buy a blood orange. You cut it in half. It's orange on the outside. It's red on the inside. And you half put that blood orange right there, a quarter of it. Guess what it does? It hides this platform, Rob Wilson Jr., because this platform is ugly as sin. Seriously, look at this thing, dude. This is like, what? This is ugly, 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 ugly. This is something that's in the picture, but you don't get to see it because you're propping it. You're putting shit in front of it so you don't see that. And the platform below. This here, like, this is a situation where you just pull the blue down, or you use plexi or something that just gives that floor like a little bit more pop. Like, for me, I want the floor to be, like, I want this picture to be like this. You see that? You see that? No platforms whatsoever, but you can see there's a height difference, right? But you see how when I cut the platform out though, it feels like yes, right? So this little bit of white is an addition that isn't necessary. Also, your gobos or your background or the things you're scram that you're lighting that with, it's like leaning this way because I have reference lines. Whenever you give me a reference line and then you give me something that's not straight to the reference line, that also always throws you off. So look at how I have such straight lines, but look at the reference lines that you're giving me. Do you know what I mean? So all of this plus this being offset, and even like now the one thing that's straight, which is this cider, it's straight and it feels crooked. It's straight and it feels crooked because everything else is kind of off. So again, Rob Wilson, I know what you're capable of. I feel like this is like not finished is a good way for me to put it, because I know how good you are, bro. I know how good you are. This is like you were rushed. You didn't quite like, you didn't have enough time. You kind of like, so this like for the average person, Rob, for the average photographer, this would be an 11. This would be photo of the week for them. You know what I mean? But for you, it's sloppy. You know what I mean? For you, there's some mistakes. For you, if you had another day on this, how much better would it be? So close. So close. And even if you look at the focus and like the details that this guy has here, like this much care and this much craft on this close-up, like this much insanity and this much beautifulness on the bottle, and then what's going on down here? You see what I'm saying? So again, Rob, you're so close here, bro. So close. I'm giving you a 10, but I'm not giving you 11 because it's not an 11 for you. It's not an 11 for you. It's an 11 for other people, but I'm judging you, not other people. All right, I have my photos of the week already pre-picked because I'm smart like that. I pre-pick my photos of the week as I'm looking at them now, so it doesn't take me quite as long to look through all of them and choose them. I think I might have missed one. Let's make sure. Oh, no, didn't. That was a closey. That was another close one. That could have won. That could have won. That could have won. Oh, that could have won. It's so, like, there's so many of you, man, that it's like so close, man. The mistakes are so like, Yep. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just doing, I just want to make sure that I'm not missing any. I don't want to miss anybody. I just want to make sure everybody gets equal billing. And again, if I'm feeling like this is a photo of the week or something that deserves to be the photo of the week, I want to make sure that I flagged it. So, what you can do for me is you can subscribe here. You can subscribe on Spotify. You can subscribe on Apple Music. You can subscribe on Substack. I'm trying to give you all kinds of different ways that you can listen, not just watch me, but also listen. And I think that it's like a really good solution to be on audio platforms. It's really crazy to actually be in someone's head. Like I'm in your headphones. It's like my words are going directly into your ear holes. It's crazy. All right, guys, you want your photos of the week and this week's assignment. I'm so excited about this week's assignment. It means a lot to me. But what you need to know first is who won this week's photos of the week. So I'm going to tell you, and I am going to go in a particular order, the order in which I feel like it. The order in which I feel. So in order for me to, I'm going to have to do this on 2 different monitors or 2 different spaces so I don't miss any names. All right, I thought so. Okay, guys, you ready? Ready? Ladies and gentlemen, your first photo of the week goes to the one they call Joshua Haney. Joshua, let's go. Photo of the week, Joshua. Congratulations. A banger, a fine photo. Make sure that you push this down a little bit. Make sure maybe you have an edit where this is pushed down a touch, so the horizon line isn't so high and we're giving space. We talked about it. This is a great shot. Congratulations. Photo of the week. Joshua Haney, everybody. Our next photo of the week
goes to... Our next photo of the week goes to the one they call Gareth.
Let's go, Gareth. Let's go, baby. Photo of the week, Gareth. Fantastic. Incredible photo. Photo of the week. Incredible light. Very, very proud of your progress, Gareth. Incredible. Whew. Yeah, well, that's how it goes. More? More? Our next photo of the week winner goes to Cynthia Lilly. Let's go, Cynthia. Congratulations. You have won photo of the week. Congratulations, Cynthia. Well deserved. Hard work. Beautiful shot. Well executed. Much love. Cynthia Lilly. Congratulations. This is what they fight for, This is what they fight for. They fight for these accolades. Not showing you. They fight for these accolades, all right. Our next photo of the week in no particular order goes into the one they call Matt Carlson. Let's go, Matt Carlson. Matt Carlson, photo of the week. Beautiful. Well done, Matt Carlson. Congratulations. Photo of the week. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, people. You excited? You excited? I'm going to save that one. It's funny. I got to yell sometimes at people. When I yell, it seems to work. It works. Our next photo of the week winner.
Maybe this voice? This voice?
This voice. Which one do you prefer?
This voice?
Or this voice. Which one do you prefer?
And did you know that it was me saying, hi, quality content? Did you know that was actually my voice? It actually is.
All right, baby. The next photo of the week goes to Liza Hyder. Let's go, Liza. Photo of the week with this Chanel hero photo. Congratulations, Liza. Well played. Well played. Let's go, Liza. Congratulations. Congratulations, Liza Hyder. All right. Saving you. All right. There we go. Our next photo of the week winner. It's about time. It's about time from this shooter. Let's go, Jay Williams. Baby, let's go. Photo of the week. Jay Williams. Jay Williams. Crowd goes wild. It's about time, Jay. Let's go. Putting this shit together. It's about time. Jesus. It's about time. I know you've had a lot of shit going on in your life, Jay. I'm so glad that you're still with us. And when shit goes wrong out there, all you can control is what's going on in here and in here and what you output. That's all you can control. And thank you for diving into your work, because it shows. When you dive into your work, you remove distractions. If even just for a minute, you can come up with a profound moment of genius, which is what you did. You executed on it, and you're being rewarded for it. Congratulations, Jay. All right, guys. Our last few shots here, photos of the week. Guys, next photo of the week winner goes to, we call him Mike Lilly. Let's go, baby. Mike Lilly, thank you. Thank you for leveling up, Mike. Thank you. Appreciate that. Needed. I like, again, home run. get a little cocky, get a little confident, miss. Seriously, it's like a ball player. You know what I mean? If you're hitting 365 or 375, you're in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? You really think about that as a photographer. If you're missing 70% of the time, that is not a Hall of Fame thing. And you don't miss that often, Mike. But what I'm doing with you and Cynthia is I'm creating competition between the two of you. It's a husband and wife team. They're both architecture photographers. They work as a team. I create competition between them. So they're each trying to level up each other. Sometimes one hits, the other completely misses. And it happens. Cynthia hits, Mike misses. Mike hits, Cynthia misses. Sometimes they hit at the same time. Sometimes they miss at the same time. This week, you guys both hit. So congratulations. I'm proud of you. And don't think I'm not watching. Congratulations, both of you. It's Mike and Cynthia Lilly. Both of them won Photo of the Week with their own individual photos. Okay. And now, another Photo of the Week. This might very well be the very first Photo of the Week for this photographer. I am so proud of you. I think you know who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Howell. Let's go. Photo of the Week, Mike Howell, with his hero advertising photo. Yes, Mike. Yes. 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 Oh, my word. Yes, Mike. Okay, we have a few more. And we are saving it for our last two. And our last two photos are not only photos of the week, but they are this week's best in show. There are two photographers that one is just getting to know me, just getting to know my tactics, and I'm just getting to know him. The other photographer is like my little brother, is like my younger brother. I can't even explain it, only because like he doesn't go away. He's always here. And when he's not here, he suffers when he's not around. He suffers, his work suffers when he's not immersed in what we're doing here right now. So these two photographers, the first one, I think you know who that one is. I think you know who that first one is. Ladies and gentlemen, our best in show. This one goes to Sean Thomas. Unfucking believable, Sean. I am so proud of you, dude. I knew, and I know that you had this in you, bro. I knew that you had this work in you, bro. And you keep fucking around. And it's like, bro, I'm ready for you when you're ready. And the industry is ready for you when you're ready. But I'm telling you, bro, stay on this course. Believe in yourself, man. And there is nothing that is going to stop you. I taught this guy how to shoot Porsches. It's crazy. It's crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Sean Thomas, best in show. Congratulations, Sean Thomas. So proud of you, dude. And now this next shooter, this guy, I mean, this guy was so all over the place when he first joined my community. I thought it just, like, I'd never seen someone dump more photos on me in one like 24-hour period than this guy. And so much of it was like, I couldn't even look at it. It's like, no, bro, no, dude. Oh, that one's okay. Oh no. But like, he had an eye though. He had an eye, and this guy was so hungry. He wanted it so badly, and I feel it. And today, that determination, that perseverance, and that special sauce all came together for this photographer. His name is Marvin Miller. Let's go, Marvin. Let's go, baby. I'm so proud of you with this week's best in show. Marvin, how do you go from not ever winning photo of the week? How do you go How man them go from not winning photo of the week, man, and then man them go straight to best in show? What you say then? Man them go from never winning pan them photo pan the week. Never. And then the man go all the way pan best in show. How is that possible? How is that possible? It's because he actually cares. And he listens. He hangs out in the community. He shoots. He has ideas, and he shoots. And today, it all came together. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are your two best in shows. We got Marvin, No Holds Barred Miller, and the one they call Sean Thomas. Guys, I hope that brought you value. And you want to know what this week's assignment is? Yes? We're taking two of your favorite things and combining them together to make an assignment that is so difficult, so good, so cool that you might actually shoot something profound. Who knew? Okay, here's the vibe. I want you to do two things. Almost three. Okay? This is what I want you to do. Yeah, three things. I'm going to take three things. I'm going to ask you to shoot light and shadow. Okay? Light and shadow. And the juxtaposition between light and shadow. Okay? That is the first thing. The second thing you have to do within light and shadow is show emotion. Okay? But again, guess what the third thing is? The third thing is what you're showing in light and shadow is you. So this is your assignment. This week is a self-portrait assignment where you have to show the juxtaposition between light and shadow, you coming out of the shadow into the light, a sliver of light lighting you. And on top of that, you have to show emotion. So I'm asking for an emotional, thought-provoking, captivating self-portrait of you that you're shooting yourself, that shows emotion, that shows light and shadow, and that play in between where they meet. All of those things you're going to put together and wrap it up for me in a self-portrait. I'm going to ask that self-portrait to be vertical. I'm going to ask for it to be vertical because this is a cover. This picture, I promise you, you're going to thank me for making you make. 3 elements: self-portrait, light and shadow, and emotion. There has to be some sort of an emotional connection in there. So this is me asking you to dig deep. You're going to have to go deep. I'm going to have to find an example of a photo that I made that is going to convey this, which I think that I have. And vertical, and due on Wednesday before midnight. Wherever you are, midnight is the deadline. If you're on the other side of the world, you're getting this content before everybody else. Everyone just has the same amount of time. It's just for you, the deadline feels like it comes sooner. I guess it does because the live doesn't. I can't change the live. It always is when it is. But know that you having less time to produce amazing content is an advantage for you. If you saw how little time I take to produce incredibly high-end content, you'd be like, holy shit, he works fast. So that comes through experience. That comes through reps. That is your assignment. This has been 3 hours and 15 minutes of commercial-free content. Not a single person signed up as a member today. You can, it makes me crazy. I'm doing this for literally peanuts. Become a member. Seriously, if this is bringing you value, I'm giving you commercial-free content. I didn't play a single commercial. I control the commercials. I didn't play a commercial during this whole time. So understand this. I'm under 200 members. I need to be above 300 members in order for this whole thing to work. So I'm going to encourage you to sign up at $5 a month here on this channel because I'm giving you something that no one else is doing on YouTube. And I know, YouTube's free. It's like, yeah. But continue to watch, observe, not participate in chat, not be in my community, and just see how slow and how long the progress takes you. Or join my community, hang out in chat, be a part of the community, be a part of the live streams, and like submit photos for review, join my photo submission level. You'll see like your work will just go, your life, your happiness, your joy, like you'll be waking up so you can jump and get on the community to share an idea that you're thinking about and get feedback on. And then you go out and make something and you help someone else go out and make something. Like, it's a beautiful thing, this thing that I've created with the Carty method. It is a 6-phase system designed to take you from your current 9-to-5 reality to the life of a full-time working pro. I've developed this system over the last, I developed it for 6 months. And I've been doing it for my whole career, but my consultants forced my hand and made me write down how I do it. So I systemized my method. I'm going through my second round of this accelerator. This round of my accelerator is probably some of the best education I've ever given to anybody. Like what I'm giving right now to the people who are in my accelerator, they are lucky because they're in there at the price that they got. But the next round opens January. So again, that means you have to wait September, October, November, December, January. You're looking at 5 months away. I will be doing a big wave of promotion coming into November. Talking about my accelerator, I will be growing a waiting list. You can actually join my wait list right now. You can go to the Carty method, go to accelerator and put yourself on my wait list if you want to find out first. Secret time, I will be giving a slight discount to people who are on my wait list and people who also pay by the year. Guys, I hope today brought you value. I've been Carty. This has been the Carty Method Podcast.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.